bullshit.
Step right up, got tickets on sale. In today's episode, trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. Yeah, it's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Well, the world's strongest man just dropped the ball, and the tent's caving in from the weight of it all. Yeah, the lion's out the cage, puppets in a rage, and the ringleader's on parade. It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Come on! Witness the greatest show on earth! Restore the flame!
It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Howdy. All right. Let me just tell you. I got a new chair. So I ain't gonna sit still. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Kai. I seen it when I looked up there. It said muted, dumb broad. Hey, Kimberly. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, Phil. So, I didn't see that there was a whole bunch of people on, so I didn't think I'd be staying long, but you like my a fucking high chair? No. Do you like it? Look at that. Okay, here's the deal. It's the... I'm going to let everybody guess, okay? You just keep guessing. It's kind of funny because I can see myself over in this camera over there. Bouncing. And I can see myself in this one bouncing. It's okay. I'll get through this in a minute. Just give me a minute. Okay. I forgot to send this out to my friend. Damn it. I got to teach her how to use YouTube. Anyway, see, it's orange on that one and red on that one. Wow. Okay. It's okay. Squirrel, give me a minute. Bouncy chair. Okay. What do you think? What y'all think of this is? I mean, that's the question. What's Gigi's new chair? Okay. Hey, Sunflower. How are you, darling? And Mr. Lays, in case I didn't say hey. So I will try to sit still though, because it is a little. Yeah, it's gonna make everybody dizzy. Okay, I'm not going around in circles. I'm just bouncing. If that gets you dizzy, gosh. There's not a lot of fun going on there, is there, Ma? If you can't do a little of this. Okay, no, sorry. Sorry. Not appropriate. Okay. How's everybody's beginning of their week? How'd their weekend go? What'd y'all do? I gotta start changing up my stuff. What do you think of my little logo I got up there? Do you see what it is? I'm gonna have to look close. I think it's pretty cool. But y'all sit there and try to figure out what it is. I can't guarantee what's on what those teeth are to. Let me put it that way. But anyway, I think I know what the mouth is supposed to be simulating, maybe. Anyway. So, yeah, this can be a little rough not to bounce. I've been bouncing on this for 3 days now. My phone broke. I was so pissed off. I was holding it while I was handling my grandson. He was wanting help with his little puzzle thing that he was doing. And I had the phone in my hand, and I went to grab a puzzle piece to show him which one he needed. And I flipped it right out of my hand, and it landed on the corner of his little metal table. And cracked that screen just big as all get out. So that was a goat rope, trying to get that handled. Verizon, I don't think, really wanted to pay for it to get handled, but it's a good thing it got handled because it was $405 if we'd had to pay it out of pocket. Whew. But I got a new phone screen and a new protector that is matte, so it doesn't show the nasty ass fingerprints that just bugs me. And it's a gel matte, so hopefully it works better. So, anyway, that only took a day and a half. Thank God Marvin took the brunt of it, because I probably wouldn't have a phone still. I was pretty nice when I went in today, but... And my RV has issues. No, we already knew my RV had issues with the stabilizers. Both of them are going down together. Lace, didn't you work on these kind of RVs? It's a Gulfstream. And both stabilizers are going down together. So it didn't do that before. Does it now? And the mechanic that looked at it said, yeah, that's not right to begin with. But then when they lost that mechanic and had to get another mechanic, which just happened last week and about gave me a heart attack, now that mechanic who came in Thursday brought his stuff in, his toolbox and everything. Now, he wasn't there yesterday. Who knows why? And he said, the owner of the place that's not a mechanic said, well, they're supposed to do that. Marv said, individually, independently, yes, but not together. And it's not like if one stops, the other one just keeps going until it hits. No, that's not what happens. It just keeps going, and, you know, it's not good. Especially if you're on unlevel ground at all from one side to the other. Ugh, I'm so frustrated. But he'll get worked out. So yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty certain. I know that it didn't do that before. They worked independently of each other. One would hit the surface, and then it would stop if we just let it do its thing on its own, and then the other one would go down until it hit the surface, and then it would stop. And then if we wanted it more level than what it had it, we could go over and mess with the buttons independently. Oh, no, not now. It has 4 independent buttons. I'm just pissed. Anyways. Hi, Mr. Andy. How are you? It'll get better. I know it will. But I'm not trying to be a spoiled brat by no means. But it's just frustrating when you got shit. I'm no brain. Trust me, I am no mechanic, especially of an RV. But I can think pretty normal. Okay, well, it's a 35-foot motor coach. You should know the answer. Lays. Do the stabilizers work independently of each other? Or do they work only together? I already know the answer, but you better answer it right or you flunk. Just kidding. Anyway. So. I don't know if Bobby Bacalino is here. But, or aka Bobby Bag of Donuts. But I was looking over some Discord stuff and I came across something that he posted. Thank you, Lace. I thought so. That he posted back in February, I think. And it was regarding nicotine. And the headlines basically said, oh, well, here, let me just read it off to you. This is just a headlines I'm reading, YouTube. Do not have a coronary. Nicotine cures myocarditis, autism, Parkinson's, and more. So, I used to say after I quit smoking and started to, I was 90 pounds soaking wet my whole life. And after I quit smoking, I gained 10 pounds and 15. And I was like, what the hell? What causes this to happen? When, the whole thing with smoking and then you stop smoking and, I get it that you're doing things with your hands and you got to keep yourself busy. And so, but there's got to be something else. Well, there's a lot. First of all, how many of you, let's do this. Oh, Baker's watching. Get up here, Baker. Let's talk about this. I want to do a poll. Right? Do I want to do a poll? Not that kind of poll. Shut up. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay. I'm pretty sure I know what you guys are going to answer. You're going to be wrong, but it's okay. Come up here, Baker. Please. Okay. Sorry. Okay. My keyboard's in the wrong place. Can you tell? All right, here we go. Okay. Flatty. How are you, my darling? Okay, well, jump out. What are you doing? I already sent you a link. Uh-oh, I'm bouncing. Look at the bags under my eyes. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. We'll go down some rabbit holes. A few of them. So, Did y'all see? Oh, y'all are saying yes. I knew y'all were going to be wrong. How many do I got votes? Come on, top. I only got 5 votes. More votes. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to ask you another question after this one, but I just want a few answers. We only have 12 in here. I wish we had a few more. Come on, people that are, I don't know what you're doing, but I even started 15 minutes late. On purpose so that I could get more people in here. Yep. I always thought that it was. I always thought that nicotine was addictive. Yeah, I'm not early. I'm late, honey. Liz and Andy are very close in age. Okay. So now I'm going to end that poll. We got, what do we got? Give me 2 seconds here. I'm slow. Okay. Oh, what the hell? Did I pick the wrong one? I did. Just a minute. Cut. We go out of there. I'll tell you guys why here in just a second, why I'm posting all this. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay. Tell me what you think of that one. Oh, I forgot to see how many people voted on the last one. Damn it. I only have 12 people in here. Where is everybody? Come on. No, it's not, Lace. If you're asking me, it's not. No. Hi, Mr. Duggar. How are you? Eight people only voted? Dang, okay. All right, what do we got for this one? 88% saying yes. Oh, see, some people know some stuff. 8 votes. Oh, and y'all voted. Okay. Oh. Okay, well, you do know some stuff. So, has anybody ever heard of a doctor named Brian Artist? And I wished I could show the video, but it's on Rumble, and I will drop the link for that. But he is, he's definitely, he thinks with a broader pen, maybe. I don't know. Dr. Brian Artist. Nope. Okay. So, he's the one that talks about nicotine. And how it actually cures things. And did you know that nicotine is in lots of foods? Anybody? I'm not going to say more until I know. Ooh, plus it gives me a chance to bounce. No, sorry. Okay, I'll stop. I promise. Okay, so the deal with, let me close out this poll. Thank you all for, somebody was 90-10. So okay. So, they, back in 1994, there is a C-SPAN clip that shows 7 tobacco companies that did, they all went in front of Congress, I believe, and were asked if nicotine was addictive. And every one of them said no. Truthfully, they truthfully believed that no, it was not. And about 4 months later, all 4 of those, or all 7 of those nicotine, or those cigarette companies, tobacco companies, then said that yes, nicotine was addictive. Well, here's the deal. Nicotine's not addictive. This is not medical information, so YouTube, just simmer down. Okay? Here's how I read it, and I could be totally wrong. Y'all can go do your research after I give you a few little pointers here. That's why I said it won't be a long live, because y'all can just check out your own research. I'm not trying to brainwash anybody. But back in 94, they put what's called pyrazine, which is supposed to be the flavor enhancer that would get people to like the cigarettes more. Well, nicotine, or that stuff is actually what's addictive, is the pyrazine. And also, they put 500 chemicals in the cigarettes of the normal brands of cigarettes, all of which are cancer-causing chemicals. Okay? There's a couple brands that don't. Spirit being one of them, and I can't remember who they said the other one was. In foods, back to how many foods have nicotine in them. Celery has nicotine in it. Eggplants, all the nightshades have nicotine in them. Nicotine has cured ulcerated colitis, hypothyroidism, Parkinson's, MS, myocarditis, tumors. It's dissolved the tumors. It goes on and on about the things that the stuff is. Nicotine it's a natural stimulant. It's natural, and it's a stimulant. We've just go to, I ain't gonna say it. I believe I've been brainwashed. Oh, that's cool. Now it says Baker entered the studio at the top. Add to stage. That's cool. How do I add him to stage, though? Oh, there we go. Okay. Howdy, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Right on.
just getting off work, and I was listening, and I had to. I didn't hear anything past the cigarettes, but the nicotine talk. So you have to catch me up.
Okay. So, did you hear about what? Do you know what foods have nicotine in them?
What foods have nicotine? Mm-hmm. Oh goodness. I don't think I do. No.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, all the nightshades have nicotine in them. Eggplants have nicotine in them. Celery has nicotine in them.
Really?
Yes. A Dr. Brian Artist is the one that has had this whole, I'm sure it's a whole study that he's gone into. But anyway, back in 1994, they had said that to begin with, the 7 tobacco companies said that nicotine was not addictive. And then within about 3 or 4 months, they went back on their word and said, oh, no, it is addictive. And during that same time, they started putting pyrazines in the cigarettes to give them better flavor. That was their whole thing. They also put 500 other chemicals in the cigarettes to give them whatever flavor and so on and so forth, make them burn better, you name it. There's arsenic in the paper so that it doesn't catch fire. They also, there's many things that nicotine actually cures.
But it doesn't cure it by ingesting it, right? Because I've heard of nicotine being treated for like open like wounds and cuts and whatnot. Or like if you get a bee sting or something. I haven't gone down the whole rabbit hole here. This is the part I've gone down. Now, I just know that from what this doctor explains is nicotine has cured ulcerated colitis. And I'm sure they do it through a doctor, and it's all, through whatever method it is, whether they're ingesting it or giving it to them intravenous, I don't know. But it's hypothyroidism, and I did check quite a few of these different ones out. And here's what I'm going to tell you here in just a second. I'll tell you about a little part about, as I did my research, what I kind of discovered. A few of the other diseases, Parkinson's, MS, myocarditis, tumors, it was amazing how many. Here's what, I don't want to tell everybody. I want them to go do their own research. And here's how I did it. I went to, let me go find my stuff here. I just went and looked up, there it is. Let me hide that. I asked nicotine versus pyrazines. And it says nicotine versus pyrazines are distinct chemical compounds, but they both play a role in the tobacco industry and its addictive properties. Nicotine is the primary addictive substance in tobacco. Pyrazines, on the other hand, are flavor additives used in cigarettes to enhance taste and make the smoke more palatable, potentially increasing smoking's appeal and reinforcing addiction. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, that's what it said. If you notice, it did not say that. It said the primary addictive substance is nicotine, not the pyrazine. Okay. Yeah, let me find the other one. There it is. So then I said, is pyrazine addictive? Yes, pyrazines are considered to be addictive substances. Pyrazines are a group of chemicals found in tobacco products, including cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and smokeless tobacco. Okay, that had to be put in there. It wasn't grown in from the tobacco. They put that stuff in there. It's not in the tobacco. But this is what they want. This is exactly what it wants you to believe.
So this is what you're saying is that's what they're doing is they're adding this in after the fact to get you addicted.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I can believe that.
Here's the deal is it's very frustrating to me because of how paranoid people have been and how, they went through. Had they have known this kind of stuff, I think they would have looked at things a little differently. Not that they would have continued to smoke or it would have, I just think things would have been looked at a little differently, especially where nicotine's concerned. If you ask somebody about nicotine, it's the most evilest thing on earth. Oh my God, it's killed thousands of people. No, it has not. Not if you look it up. So anyways, one of the things is if you go look up this Dr. Brian Artis, he is on Rumble, and the channel is called Free Your Mind Video, but I actually have the link for him. And I'm telling you, if anybody wants to do research on this stuff, start there. You can obviously still go do your own research, but he gives you great examples of, why he believes they've made nicotine be this evil thing that it's really not. Like, it's very frustrating to me just because I used to be a smoker, and had I known about it in a different way, it could have done lots of things for lots of people. Let me put it that way. But I never would have looked at it. I would have, if somebody had told me, well, hey, this can cure this or that, or
right.
I would have never. So it's,
Well, here's the thing that I don't get about the whole medical industry and what they do, right? This is the same medical industry that I grew up with a food pyramid, meaning like, oh, you gotta have your proteins, you gotta have your breads, you gotta have your this and that, and then we come to find out that that's full of shit.
Yes.
It was the same people that were telling you don't eat a whole lot of eggs, don't do that, it's bad cholesterol, you don't want that. But then it ended up not being that, or like I don't cook anything in seed oils anymore. No plant oil substance whatsoever. I only do it in good old fashioned bacon grease, and that is it. I just don't trust what they're posting these days because I feel like they're either A, rushing the scientific papers out there to get ahead of something, or B, they're being funded by a certain company to be able to post something that shines a light in an either negative or positive way, whatever helps that said stock option.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't believe in any of that stuff anyways.
Nope. Me either. I'm just, it's another thing that makes me go, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, and I hate to say this, but this is what happens when you do, and your whole chat's going to light up when I say this, and please do not crucify me, but this is one of the downsides of a capitalist economy, is you get this type of behavior. You get these kind of fundings to try to help these stock prices go up. Mm-hmm. Therefore, people get paid out more. And at the end of the day, it's all about the bottom dollar. It's borderline crony capitalism. I would also argue that our patent laws are a big problem. It's not just the capitalist side, but in the same side, no other country, no other system has generated as much wealth as capitalist markets have. So I'm not against capitalism at all. I'm just saying it's like a monkey paw, right? You make a wish, one thing happens, but then something else bad takes its place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely I just feel like there's lots of times when there's so many things that could, well, first of all, not kill us because the government put it in whatever.
Yeah.
And then second of all, that we could have been saved by what they never told us. If they're not doing us one way, they're doing us another way.
Exactly.
It's just repeatedly. Yeah.
Well, It's conspiracy theory time. I know it's not Friday, but conspiracy theory time. Mm-hmm. I think that they've had a cure for cancer for a long while.
Me too.
But because there's no money in curing cancer, there's a hell of a lot more money in treating cancer. Mm-hmm. I believe that we're getting fucked on that whole thing. And oh, by the way, we're the leading country and leading cancer research. You can't sit there and tell me that stuff's not privately funded and or government funding, which is, again, another issue. If we're providing government funding for these pharmaceutical companies to do their research and they find something with our money, they shouldn't be charging us $800 per pill. They shouldn't be able to put that patent on the books. Now, should they be able to make money off of it? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But should they be able to make their own price tag and then get the exclusive without any generic medication being made with that? No.
There's actually an insurance company that I've heard about just recently. A lot of RVers are doing it because a lot of insurances that you have, they'll be like, oh, sure, we cover you. And then you go to another state and they're like, oh, but not if you're out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be a huge problem if you're somebody that's going to travel and, you don't know when you're going to get hurt or need a doctor, get sick, whatever.
Well, exactly.
In any state. So there's a company that will actually, not only can you be covered in all of the states, but you get to choose where you go. So say your insurance, say you need an MRI and it's $1,500 normally if you went through an insurance company and whatever, and then the insurance company pays its part and you get the other 20% or whatever, unless you don't have your deductible. But they'll give you it cheaper because you're with this supposed insurance company.
Well, a lot of people don't realize insurance companies really aren't actually insurance companies. They're investment companies. They're taking your money, your premium, and they're exchanging. They're saying, hey, Gutters, I'm going to insure your pub for fire, flood, and whatever else act of God. And in return, you're going to pay me a premium of $2,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, so if something happens, you're going to cover it. Well, no, not exactly. What we're going to do is we're going to give you the ability to cover it. You're going to have to pay your deductible. Well, how much is deductible? Well, you can choose a $5,000 plan or the $10,000. Yep. And then what they do with this money that they get every year is they invest it. They take everything off the top. They're using your money to invest it. They take whatever profits they want or whatever they get, and they don't put that in a account to cover your losses. If they're they're going to fight you tooth and nail. By the way, they have lawyers on staff to do this. Mm-hmm. They're going to fight you tooth and nail to not pay you, and they're still going to make money off of whatever they do.
Yes,
these insurance companies are just as bad.
So this insurance company, what they do is, so say this MRI is $1,500, and you go and find it someplace else, and they're only going to charge you $800 because you go in saying, I don't have insurance. Okay. And they say, oh, well, we'll give you a discount because you don't have insurance. So they give it to you for $800. So then you take your receipt and you go back to your insurance company and they pay you the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they pay the $800. They pay the $800. They pay you back that. Plus, they give you the difference from they give you the $700 that you would have had to pay out. That another insurance company. So it's just because you would have been covered under insurance. So they're paying you what you would have been covered under insurance. And this insurance company has, they make people money in the process. How many places can you say do that? I think it's a great idea. And trust me, when we get to traveling, I think we'd be looking into it.
I had a discussion I had a commissioner friend back home, and we had a discussion about, it was a lively discussion, but, I had always tossed around the idea of, okay, if you have to pay, because, where I come from, the insurance premiums, if you get your house insured, it's about $4,000 a year, and then your car insurance payment per month if it's full coverage at the bare minimum state account, whatever the bare minimum is, which I think is like $1,500 deductible. I mean, you're still looking at $150 to $175 a month for one person. That's with a clean record. So, I mean, insurance costs are high back home, but it's, because of the weather. I get it. But the idea that I had posed to the, person I was talking to was, okay, well, what if you go a year and you don't have a claim? This is you're giving them money to be covered, but let's just say you don't have a claim. I think that you should be entitled for half of that money back because you didn't get anything. Nothing got claimed. Nothing happened. I know they're going to say, well, we got to cover our losses. No, bullshit. That's why you're putting it in the market. So, or I would even go as far as say as you should be able to get a quarter of your money back or a lower percentage rate on your next insurance renewal. Instead of it going up higher, it should be going lower for people that do not claim anything on your insurance. Now, that's not to say that if you do have to claim something on insurance, it shouldn't be that, they're rating you based on the fact that you're going to run into a Ferrari, because that's what they do. They take your little Ford Pinto and they insure you as if you're going to run into a Ferrari. No. It should be your insurance covers you. Their insurance covers them. If you caused the wreck and it's your fault, oopsie doopsie, your own insurance covers yourself. That's just how that works. Now, if it's not your fault, then that insurance company can't raise the rate of the other person that's not at fault. But they pay a premium on that Ferrari from that insurance for a reason. It shouldn't be the other way around. That's why we have to have insurance. Car insurance is just as big a scam as medical insurance is.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, it's just watching how everything worked, and you have to be ready. I remember I had a friend that she worked for an insurance company, and she did all the claims, and she said, when I had any problems with insurance, I would just call her because she knew the questions to answer. I figured out a long time ago that if you don't ask the right questions, they're not going to give you the right answer. So you could be there all day trying to get the right answer and you never get it because you don't know the question to ask. You don't understand the lingo. You don't understand what it is that you're actually needing because insurance has got 55 ways to Sunday on how to, file your claim or this, that, and the other thing, or what's covered and what's not, or how to ask. Like if you want to know if something's covered, if you don't ask about it the right way, they're like, oh no, that ain't covered. But if you ask about it the right way, then lo and behold, looky there, it was covered. It's like, what the hell is the deal? And so those are the kind of the things that I learned through. It's like, okay, here, Ronnie, you call and argue with them.
You shouldn't have to finagle the system to get it, though. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Now, I wish our state, as liberal as it is, they should. Why aren't they for the people on this? Because our insurance here is a joke, too. You would think that as capitalistic and mindful that they are over in Salem, you think that they would pass some kind of legislation and or make it to where we're a no-fault. Are we a no-fault state? Maybe we are a no-fault state. I haven't actually looked in that. All I know is my insurance premiums are just out of this world, sky high, and it's just like, it's not like I'm driving around a freaking sports car. Mm-hmm. But you would think that the Oregon insurance commissioner would step in and do something, but they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're just as bought and paid for as the other side of the aisle. But what do you do? Oh, actually, I take that back. What will happen if Oregon were to do some kind of a price control on insurance or whatnot? What will happen is they'll do what they did with California and pull out. Mm-hmm. And then it's like they're punishing you, and they're disguising it in there's no profit to be made, so we got to get out of here. No bullshit. You're leaving because now you can't exploit the rules. I just don't like that. I don't know. And I'm not for state insurance at all. That is a horrible idea. That's just going to bankrupt the state. There are going to be so many people taking advantage of that. I don't know what the answer is, except maybe at a federal level, if you say you're going to cover insurance in Texas, then you're obligated to cover insurance in California. I know that sounds crazy, but you build it into your business model. Or better yet, why do we need insurance? Just make your medical insurance, make it an a la carte insurance. You pay this insurance premium that your job helps pay for, or whatever the case, and then that covers everything: your house, your RV, your this, your that. You just add it to your premium, just like you do when you add your dependents. Oh, my house is a dependent. My four-wheeler's a dependent. My camper's a dependent. Why not do that?
Yep.
But no, they're going to nickel and dime us because that's fuck you, give me money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm to the point where I'm so frightened. That's why I told Marvin, I said, I'm at the point now where if we can't figure out, first of all, when it comes to car insurance, we have too many junk cars on insurance. It's like, dude, how about we get, I don't need brand new cars, but if we could get something within, like that's not as old as my last born, that'd be cool. I'd be okay with that. I do have something but she's a Hyundai and she's about a piece of shit. I'm getting sick of her. So, and she's been a great car, but now she's kind of she's having her issues.
About time to take the old girl out in the back pasture and
yeah.
Or
hand her over to somebody else that wants to tinker with her and don't mind taking down the steering wheel shaft just to get this part out that's about this big around to put the new one in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 75 cents, but it costs you like, $8,000 to get the job done. I'm like, no, I'm not putting $8,000 in that car. Nope.
Yeah. Well, like I have a diesel truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to have all of this EPA crap on this truck. If I were to take all that stuff out, there was no way I would pass emission test in Portland proper, where emission tests are, actually done. I don't know is it just Multnomah County that does that, or is it all of the counties around there?
Well, we have to go through DMV, you mean?
Well, no, you have to get emission testing.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, we have to. Mm-hmm.
We don't here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. All the rural areas, you're fine. But
right.
You got to be rural enough. Like even my son that lives 20 minutes away, he still has to because he's within the county. But if you get further out, then you don't have to. Like Camas and all those are Canby. Those areas.
Canby, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Well, like Malala or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So what stinks about it is I've got this diesel, and yeah, I get great fuel economy with it. Better than if I had a traditional combustion engine. But I get great fuel economy. The problem is that I have to diesel's expensive for some damn reason. I don't know why. It's a byproduct, number one.
Right.
But number two, I have to add this DEF fluid or DEF fluid into my truck. And it's supposed to basically spray on top of this byproduct that diesel exhaust makes, and then it incinerates it and it blows out this basic, for dumbing down purposes, it's like a catalytic converter, but it's supposed to get rid of all your NOx, which is pollution.
Which tears up the rest of the components.
It does. It makes it...
It just destroys them.
It destroys it. It just eats itself, right?
Yep.
But all for doing this, right? All for adding on this extra cost. If I ever have to replace this emission system, and knock on wood, I don't have anything around me, but if I ever do, that's a $12,000 bill. Yep. Boom. Replaced, right? Mm-hmm. But nobody ever thought about the fact that you have this, now I have to go buy they're trying to fix the environment. Bravo to them. Let's just clean up the air. But because now I have to have DEF fluid, I have to go buy jugs of DEF fluid that are in what do you think the DEF fluid comes in?
I know, but I'm going to tell you, this is a little piece of advice after watching enough of my little RV channels and them talking about their diesel rigs. Don't fuel up and get DEF from there like the trucks do. Don't do
No, I never do.
It fucks with or messes with the actual engine. So
no, I know. I only buy it. I can only use OEM DEF. I shit you not. I went out and bought the premium blue DEF, and it trips a damn code every fucking time. Yeah. So I only can use OEM DEF fluid for some damn reason, which luckily it's cheap. It's actually cheaper than the other stuff. But it comes in these plastic jugs. What do you think I'm doing with these plastic jugs? You can't recycle. It's had chemicals in it. I have to throw it away. So instead of just leaving the diesels alone and letting them have all the power, which, by the way, when you delete all that stuff and you actually just run it straight pipe and just let the engine do its thing, I can get close to 30 miles per gallon.
Yep.
Okay. But instead, I have to put this crap in it, and it chokes down the engine to where I'm getting, 18, 19, 20 sometimes in the wintertime. It's real bad.
Yeah.
But it chokes it down to the point where I'm like, oh, well, if you would have just let me not do this and I would have had better fuel economy, I wouldn't be using so much diesel. Like, they're not doing the actual math on this, and it just pisses me off.
I'm hoping Trump does something, and I hope he does enough, like, that it takes like 5 different things to undo what he does for them to get back to their whole death thing and all that. I'm hoping, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I do believe he's trying to work on some of that stuff, and I hope he's pissing me off with enough other stuff. I hope he's fixing this part. It's a little frustrating. Like, now he's getting back in, he's getting them back into logging, and so, I mean, that's all good. We need that.
Your RV doesn't have DEF fluid, does it?
No,
it was before that. Yeah, that's what I thought. 2006. It was before that. Yeah, so like 2008 is when they started putting that crap on there. So if you had anything, that's why diesels are so sought after before the year 2007, 2008, is because of that one reason. But I did hear that Trump did actually come out and tell the EPA, hey, we're not going to enforce this rule. And I don't think they pulled the rule off the book. But by the way, who gave the EPA power to enforce those kind of things? Well, I thought that had to be created by Congress and enacted in law.
And who is the ones that do that? That's the state of California. Do you know that the state of California is the one that basically sets all those stupid rules? Don't ask me how I got to that.
Yeah, the emission stuff? Yeah.
Yes, all that is done through the state of California. Give me a break. Who the hell said they were the, God and governor of the country? I don't understand it, but it's
they are our American overlords. Bow down.
Something. Yeah. The problem with it is I like having the older rig, because it's no DEF, and they were made way better than today's shit that's made. Yeah, there's not all the bells and whistles that they have today, but it's still a way better made rig. I mean, but what worries me is that they don't make the parts, and they're getting to where they don't like to make the parts. 10 years after it, it's been made, they don't want to make the parts for that one. It's like, what the hell? How are people ever gonna, so you just got to buy new every 10 years? Give me a break. I mean,
that's how they set it up. They don't make these vehicles to last like they did in the past. Now, I will say that that's a little bit of a skewed argument, a little bit, because I think cars are in a lot of aspects more reliable, like on not necessarily maybe on the drivetrain or the transmission, but like at least on the suspension and the actual the actual frame of the body. I mean, I think that there are components that are better made than what they used to be, but engine drivetrain, absolutely not.
Well, my suspension sucks, so mine obviously don't get a Hyundai. That's a piece of shit.
It depends on what year Hyundai. I think there was a time period where they weren't so bad.
2011, and for some reason, it's always felt like the shocks weren't quite right. At the time, you're excited, you're getting a new car, and you're really excited. Yeah, I shouldn't have. I should have.
Well, I won't even buy a vehicle if it has a CVT transmission. Those continual variable timing transmissions are just prone to failure. They're prone to it. And unfortunately, if you buy a car these days, that's what you're getting.
Yep.
So you have to get an SUV and or a truck that has an actual gear speed or gear rated transmission. Like I have a 6-speed in mine. It's a true 6-speed. But if you buy any car that's front wheel drive or any foreign made car, even Nissan, actually Nissan's the worst offender. You're getting those Janko CVT transmissions are junk. And that's why Nissans actually, I'm surprised they're still in business. I never see any Nissans on the road where we're at, ever. Not a single one.
Yeah, I guess we do a little, but no, I don't even really look much anymore. The only time I look is when I see a classic car. When I see an older car, like older older, way older. Then I'm like, oh, look. Look it. There went a sting.
I will say that I'm approaching the, at 39 years old, you're not too far. You're knocking on midlife crisis doorstep, right? So
right.
I have been looking at the 2-door Broncos. I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to hold off and not get one.
That's funny. So have I.
Yeah. I'm going to hold off and not get one just yet because the next model year is the they call it the mid-year refresh. So like the mid-generation refresh. So they're going to incorporate more bells and whistles and not that would normally come into a premium package that would then just come into a package and then add all the fixes that they've had from the previous model. So it came out in 21, had tons of issues. This newer 26 model is supposed to fix the rattling and the headliner leaking problems, which duh. Why that should have been fixed last year, but apparently it wasn't. You had to warranty it in order to get it fixed, but it just came broken apparently. But I've been looking at the 4-cylinder, not the 6. I don't care for the 6 because the 4-cylinder has the 7-gear manual transmission. It's got the crawl gear. It's got the granny gear. I want that. And plus, like, it's even in the 4-cylinder, it's 300 horses. I mean, that's plenty of power. And I just want to be able to take the top off, the doors off, and I don't know, go get in trouble.
Right? Yeah, I know I'm never going to get one, but I was looking at it when my car was acting up not too long ago. I was like, all right, I'm looking at those. And I was here's what I was looking for. I was looking for something that could be towed too. So that
could definitely be towed as a 2-door.
Flat tow. Yeah.
Yeah, flat tow. You can definitely flat tow those.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever do buy a Bronco, stay away from the 21s, the 24s. They got problems. I think the 25s are better, but next year the 26 are refresh. That's when you want to start really looking at them. If you ever find them on the used market later down the road, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, if you ever find one, I would say, okay, that's probably okay to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And actually the Broncos aren't having engine trouble of any sort. They're putting tried and true engines in those. But I don't plan on putting a whole lot of miles on mine anyways. I'm going to buy it and probably park it in the garage and only take it out when I want to go have fun. It'll just be a leisure vehicle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't sit there and justify it.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things. It's justifying that.
It's a pipe dream for me.
Yeah.
But see, I don't have anything. Number one, I can't park anything at my house. I don't have enough room living on a hill and all. But I don't really have okay, if I got it, would I probably go out to the forest roads and have a heyday? Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, well, I can only really do that certain times of the year because other times of the year the snow is so thick, or there's so much snow, like you can't utilize it. So I mean, I guess you could. I'm not going to try to. I don't want to get stuck out there.
Right.
But I would only be able to use it for certain times of the year, which is fine. I've already accepted that point because I didn't want to put a whole lot of miles on anyways. But yeah, I've definitely been looking at the Ford Broncos, the 2-doors manuals. The other thing I want to avoid is the white Broncos for obvious reasons.
Yeah. I don't know.
Only 39-year-olds would get that.
Yes, only 39-year-olds. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely I love me some nice looking 4-wheel drives, but on the other hand, I just need something that we can be able to tow and I can just, crawl around town. Doesn't have to be fancy, just gotta get me there. And I don't want to look like shit, but
right. Well, even the standard model Broncos look good. The problem is that they're goddamn freaking, even their base model is like 42, 43 grand. And that's with everything stripped out of it. You're getting the 4-cylinder and you're getting the manual transmission, but everything else is like standard stock, which I'm sure that's fine for me because those vehicles are highly customizable. I mean, they have all kinds of aftermarket parts that look fantastic on those things. You can make it look whatever you want to. But, do you like driving a manual? I know I do, but I don't know if you like driving a manual.
I don't mind, but I don't like doing it in the city. It's a pain in the ass.
Oh, you got to work that calf muscle out.
Yeah, it's just a lot. I mean, let me just say that I live in a town with a city of lights, and I'm not talking about street lights. It's a lot of fucking lights, dude.
I see. A lot of stop and go.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like every other block.
Yeah. Well, at least with the Bronco that has the granny gear, and of course I've never driven one, so I'm just, take this with a grain of salt, but apparently you can just put it in the granny gear without having to worry about the clutch too much, and it'll just go. Just like the old school granny gears where you can just pop it and boom.
Here's the other thing that I am never gonna do. There's two things. I'm not getting an electric car, and I am not getting one of those rigs that shut off when you're at the stoplight. That freaks me out just watching somebody's rig beside me when it's like, hey, your rig shut off. Hey. And then,
well, I can tell you that, in my opinion, those are safety issues, safety concerns.
I would think so too.
Yeah, so my other vehicle is one of those, and I can't. I have to turn that off as soon as I get in. It's the stupidest feature, but the reason why they do it is to meet the EPA requirements for fuel economy.
That's bullshit.
And it's complete bullshit. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people saying, well, also it'll wear out your starter. No, stop. Those starters are built nowadays to, do like 1 million cranks or something. I'm being facetious, but on all those vehicles that I've ever seen, I've never heard anybody say, well, my starter keeps going out. I've not heard that. So until I see a bulletin about, hey, the starters wear out, I'm not going to believe that. But what I do believe is when you deactivate those cylinders, even while you're driving, and this drives me insane. If you have a 6-cylinder and 8-cylinder, it'll deactivate 2 or 4 of those cylinders to save fuel economy. Those cylinders are no longer getting fed with oil, and all the oil sets down at the bottom. So then whenever those cylinders reactivate, it's being reactivated dry. Now, dry in the terms of, well, there's still viscosity. I almost couldn't say the word, but there's still some oil in the engine block that when it does move, okay. But it's still wearing it out. It's not getting a constant oil flow.
Well, from what I've heard from a mechanic that works on newer rigs, he said that now the way they make the engines, there's always oil in the bottom, and so even if you are to run it all the way out, it doesn't run it out. It's always there, and it's always kind of, I mean, even if it'd have to, I mean, even if it sits for a few minutes, I do kind of see what you're saying. But see, yeah. I feel the same way about the starter, because, yeah, you haven't heard of one running out of a starter yet, but give it, a few years. I don't think they're going to last like the starters of the cars that, don't do that. I think their starters are going to run out sooner.
Well, all starters they'll wear out. I mean, that's just wear and tear of a vehicle. I'm just saying, I don't think they wear out any quicker. If you're
starting it over and over and over, the more you use something, the more common sense says the more you use it, the more you're going to wear it out.
I agree, but I think that they're better built than what they were before is what I'm saying. Like, I think they're specified and built to last in those type of conditions. Like, if we were to put a 1990 starter on one of these engines that has that auto start stop, hell no, that ain't going to last. Hell no.
I don't know. I think most of these days, stuff that's made is shit.
Oh, it is shit. There's no denying that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely... I'm at a... Like, it's a toss-up for me. I don't necessarily... When you think about new shit, you're like, okay, I'll get something new so it don't have a bunch of problems. Bullshit. Yes, it will.
Yep. So, but with that being said, the whole... Just to go back to that cylinder deactivation thing real quick. I heard, again, that Trump has gotten rid of the requirement to have that cylinder deactivation and auto start-stop. Because, again... I've got a vehicle that does that, and if I forget to turn that off and I get stopped at a red light, when I push on the gas, and let's say even if I'm in traffic or stalled in traffic, for example, if I'm in Portland and I'm stalled in traffic, when I push the gas, it doesn't immediately give me a response. I have to wait for it to start, and then the throttle, because it's computer activated, is in the middle because I'm stepping on it like it needs to go, and then the computer's like, oh, I need to go. And so there is a really bad.
There's no way I'd handle that.
Yeah, there is a noticeable amount of latency between you pushing your foot on the pedal and you expecting some kind of response versus what actually happens. I have to turn that off because if I don't, I think it's a safety concern in my opinion, especially if you need to get up and get out of the way.
Yep, I agree. Somebody's coming at you from the side street. I mean, that hesitation, that one, I don't care if it's only a 1 second.
It's every bit of a 1 second, honestly. Yep. Yeah. But it's enough to make me not feel comfortable, especially when I'm driving in traffic. Now, does it do it while the vehicle's moving? No. But if you're in stop and go traffic, it absolutely does it. Now, like I said, you can double tap on the brake. Like if you just do like a push on the brake, even without letting your foot off, it will turn the vehicle back on. A lot of people don't know that, but it will do that. But it's not going to bypass it. You got to turn it off. But they do make cheater systems that you can go buy on Amazon for like $70. You plug it into your car, you tell it to stop doing that shit, and bada bing, bada boom, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
I wish they'd do that for the deaf.
Well, they do. You can do a delete on your vehicle.
Yeah, but it's against the law.
Well, no, that's the rule that Trump laxed on. Said, hey, we're not enforcing this anymore.
Good. See, yeah.
Now, the state, the People's Republic of Oregon's another fucking problem, but that's only on the Multnomah County area.
Yeah, they're trying to mess with RVs here.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
You can't do a Class A, this, that. Oh, kiss my ass. Yes, we can.
Well, okay, so I have maybe a controversial topic to bring up, but since you're a, fellow Oregonian, I feel like you and I have some say in this, but I feel like we need to bring sales tax in. And I feel like, and for those that don't know, we don't pay sales tax in the state. So the price you see that's posted is the price you pay. And that's for food, clothing, any kind of goods, right? And I feel like they need to bring sales tax back and lower our property tax and our income tax and let it be subsidized for whatever sales tax you want, because at least that's a tax that I choose to pay. It's not a tax I have to pay. But meanwhile, people coming to the state to visit, which by the way, this is a gorgeous state and everybody comes to the state to visit, we're collecting that tax revenue from people that are buying stuff in the state versus not buying it or buying it, coming here just to buy it so they don't have to pay taxes in their state, like Washington, California, Nevada, or Idaho. So, or if you want to do this, go one step further, because this used to happen in Washington. I don't know about on your side of the state, but at least on my side of the state, if you cross the border into Washington before Inslee changed the rules, I used to get tax-free in Washington. Now that's not a thing. So you have to pay sales taxes in Washington. Well, I'm not going to go to Washington. I haven't gone to Washington to buy anything then. So I just stay on the Oregon side.
I thought it was still a thing. I know Idaho, like I could go to Idaho and buy my mom furniture and not have to pay sales tax.
Yeah, well, maybe in Idaho, but they changed the rule in Washington about 4 years ago, where if you go into Washington, you can't claim tax-free.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't put it past Washington. That's a suckier state than Oregon.
Oh, it really is. Yeah. But anything Washington does, we quickly follow.
Oh, yeah. And California leads it all.
It does. Yeah. The left coast. So, but I mean, I'm all about, I hate taxes. I hate taxes of all sort because I think the government just mismanages the money. I can spend the money better than the government can, is what I'm saying. But with that being said, I feel like with all of the tourists we get in the state, we should be able to collect some of it. Now, I know that they pay resort fees and those kind of taxes, but that's kibble. Like if somebody parks at a state park, what are they paying? Like $15-20 a night? That's nothing. You go to any other state, you're paying $35-40 a night. So I just feel like we're missing out. And us, the citizens of the state, we're subsidizing these people coming here. I don't like that. We're subsidizing it with our property taxes, which are sky high, and we're subsidizing it with our income tax, which is sky fucking high. I pay more in Oregon taxes than I do in federal taxes.
I don't know. We pay so many fucking taxes.
It's ridiculous. And oh, by the way, I know that some people that are listening maybe from the state, they're going, well, you kind of, even though you don't pay taxes at the cash register, you pay taxes on the back end because of all these rules and shit that they've been god dang sweeping in behind us and just making it, like what Kate Brown did to us. Well, that's true. And I call her Cunt Brown. And that's true. But at the same time, it's not the same as, again, these people that are coming in from out of state, they're not having to pay that. It's still subsidized, So don't like it. What say you?
Well, I don't want any taxes. I would just as soon figure out a better way to where we don't have none of it. I do. I want less. I want less laws. I want less taxes. I want less government. I want all of it less. And let me tell you what, he is slacking. He needs to keep going because it's going to take every bit of 3.5 years to cut this government down to nothing. And he's a long ways from it. So, and I don't think he's going to get that handled. I think it's completely, even though he talked about lots of things before, one of which the government's too big, but yet, let's see, we started Doge, which I don't know exactly how all that works, and I don't know if there were already government employees and they just swapped them over to another one, but I just think we need less, not more. So when it comes to sales tax, I do get what you're saying, but the only way that I would even possibly agree would be to, for one, I think we should get rid of property tax altogether. I don't think there should be property tax.
Well, I agree, because if you own your property outright and you still have to pay taxes on it, do you really own it?
Yeah, I just don't think there should be. You're already paying for you're already paying for it. You take a loan out and you pay for it.
Exactly.
That's enough.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to pay a tax on it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying that, okay, if you don't like that idea or do like it but need a mixture of it, then what about the idea of putting toll booths at the entrances to the state? And if you have an Oregon tag, you get in for free. It doesn't charge you. Because all of that stuff's automated anyways. They take a picture of your tag and they send you a bill, right? So if you're not from the state, guess what? You're paying $5 to enter.
Again, it's more government.
Well, I get that, but we got to pay for stuff somehow. And I know the argument is that, well, we didn't have federal income tax in 1912 or 1913, and we were able to afford shit then because we were tariffing the shit out of everybody. That's fine, but that's not the system we have right now.
Well, that's why you've got to change it. So let's tariff the shit out of everybody, and let's get it back to where it needs to be. And let's cut down on, we can't keep saying, okay, like with this idea of doing the toll booths. Well, now you got to hire how many people to cover these toll booths? It's not going to be 4. It's not going to be, there's going to be all kind. You're going to have a manager and a shift leader and a this and a that and somebody clean it and somebody to, I don't know, fix the toilet and dump the, I don't know. You're going to have, another 500 government employees just to run each one of these toll booths. So for me, that's oh, hell no.
Well, most of it's automated now. Like down in Texas, if you want to take the expressway from Austin to San Antonio where you can drive as fast as you fucking want, you're going to pay for that, but there's nobody working those. I mean, you have your maintenance crews, but that's just like ODOT, right? All of that's automated. You drive through the booth, it takes a picture, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You get a damn notice in the mail, you pay it, and
well,
you go
we're
about your
still
life.
Paying somebody to do all that.
Well, yeah, there is some kind of company out there that's doing the back end maintenance of it. You're correct, yes.
And I'm guaranteeing you it ain't no drop in the bucket. I want less government in every way, shape, or form. So for me, let's, instead of thinking about anything new, let's just start cutting. Start there.
Okay, I'm for that. I'm anti-tax too. I want less government, less taxes, but at the same time, if we're going to afford these things, which by the way, I would love for somebody to do an audit of the state, and I'd love for somebody to be accountable for where this money goes.
Me too.
And I don't mean to
wonder how
turn
we
this into
get
the
that.
Organ rant hour, but we have some problems here.
But how do we get that in
concerned.
any state? How do we get our states audited?
I don't know. How do you get the Fed audited?
And I don't mean, here's the deal. That doesn't mean, the state goes in and audits themselves, or the federal goes and audits the state. No. No, real live citizens go in and audit.
Yeah. No, a third party has no affiliation whatsoever, comes in and tells the people what's going on. Now,
well, and do it from a few different places. That way, you ain't just got a liberal bunch or a red bunch, or, you got a little of everything.
Yeah. Well, I just think that if we take a look at what programs we're paying for, because I don't know about you, but I'm legitimately concerned we're going to go bankrupt. And what does a bankrupt organ mean? What does that look like? Because we're already looking at that with ODOT. There's not going to be any snowplows running this year. I think what they say 2 was going to be run into the entire district for the eastern side. Are you kidding me? That's not enough. We get a load of snow over here.
We don't, but we don't have no snowplows either. That's why everybody just goes, all right, we're just going to stay home. Or you'll have the dumb shits that, hit the street going 90 thinking that's the only way they're going to get to the grocery store, and then slam on their brakes when they get by the grocery store.
Yeah.
And then wonder why they drove into the bank. Well, hello.
Well, either way, I'm concerned that this state goes bankrupt. And then what does that look like? What does that look like for the people? What does that look like for the state? Because there are a lot of state employees. I get that is how it is, but what does a bankrupt state look like? What if you're in Florida? What if you go bankrupt in Florida? Like, what happens when you go bankrupt? Because it's not like we can print money and all of a sudden, hey, look, we can raise the debt ceiling because we can just print more money, and then we can just guarantee that money because it's all fiat currency. No, we can't do that as a state. So what happens? Do we go to the federal government and borrow money? And then what does that look like? Because the government's going to put stipulations on that. So I'm curious, what does a bankrupt state look like? Does anybody actually have an answer for that?
I don't, but I sure as a hell hope I don't live in Oregon when they go bankrupt.
Well, I don't. If you're retiring, anybody out there listening, if you're retiring, do not move to Oregon, because they're going to take every bit of that retirement from you.
Yeah.
You can't live on retirement in the state.
Yeah. You got to learn how to weave around that. Either you move to another place that isn't going to tax the shit out of your retirement, or you at least make that your domain, your state, whichever state it is that gives you the best. And for each person, that's going to be different. Just because maybe Tennessee works for Marv and I, it might not work that great for, somebody else. It might be Florida that works better for them because of the way their income is, or their tax. You just don't know.
Yeah, not financial advice, but this is not the place you want to make as your permanent residence when you retire. And if you're retiring from the state, get the hell out. Yeah. It's not going to last.
It's gorgeous, and it's beautiful.
It's vast. It's big. If you drive from the east side of Oregon all the way to the west side, it's going to take you 8 hours. It's big. It's a lot bigger than people realize.
And I don't care if you're looking for any kind of customer service on the west side of Oregon. Don't. Because I don't care what it is. These people, they really just don't care about how they do their jobs. And I say the west side because that's pretty much where I've been as of recent. And I don't care what it is that we go out to do. The incompetence that runs. Well, I don't care if you're looking at people pumping gas or if you're at a doctor's office. It's pretty pitiful.
It is really pitiful, yeah.
And it's kind of scary. Because it really, here's what it did. This is what Marv and I were talking about earlier today. And I think I kind of scared him, because usually if I say something that kind of triggers him, he'll almost like just shut down, like he doesn't want to talk about it no more. And I said, well, I kind of feel like at this point, like we're at that drop down where there is nothing. How do you see hope in this whole setting for like our kids or anything of the sort? I just don't see. I mean, I don't even know. Now, I kind of see why my kids are like, yeah, Mom, I'm not going to even think about that. I got to worry about, how I'm going to pay my bills and, get the kids to school. And, I just don't have time to think about that right now. I do try to express to them, especially, my youngest does actually pretty well, but the other two are kind of, because they're so involved in their lives and they've got so much going on, especially with a growing family, they kind of, and I remember being lost in the moment and not paying attention to what was going on in our government. And it easily rode over all of us. I mean, we didn't look at how much the government took right over us, completely took over us. And it was all because we were all just busy trying to get through life. And I can't even imagine having to try to get through life with what the kids have nowadays compared to what we have when our kids were growing up. Hey, LW, what's up?
Hey.
How are you?
Let me hit mute while I fix this.
Okay.
My bad.
No worries.
Another thing that's I've noticed at least happening is the participation in sports from kids is dwindling. Like, I know a lot of schools now that, like when I was going through school, you had middle school football. We had our own, 6th, 7th, 8th grade teams. Now they're disbanding middle school football because there's not enough participation from the generation. So I think we're going to run into a crisis where, the NFL better be thinking about this because, people are losing interest in sport. And even if people aren't playing sports, people are more interested in the sports betting aspect than they are actually playing the sports. And I know you don't care about sports skee ball and stuff, but I think it's a real problem. And it just is indicative to what's going on in today's societies where you've got these devices in your hands that keep you distracted and you can connect with people on the other side of the world that maybe is more to your liking versus your local people that you grow up with in your neighborhood and go outside and play hide and seek with when you're kids.
Well, don't get me wrong. I hate sports. I don't want to watch shit, especially if it's on TV. If I can go to a game, something, I'm much more apt to be into it.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I'm not a huge sports freak. But don't get me wrong. I want my grandkids in sports, just like I wanted my kids in sports. I pushed them for it. Not so much for the playing of the sport. It had nothing to do with that. It was all about building that character and that work ethic and the drive and just all of that. I really wanted my kids to know that. And I knew that was one sure way for them to get it. And it worked with all of the kids. Right down to my granddaughter, there was not a lot of drive that went on in her before she started playing volleyball. She kind of wanted to do this and she kind of wanted to do that, and she'd do all kinds of artsy fartsy stuff, but she never really had that super drive. Like I thought she was going to be into softball, and that kind of fizzled. She liked it when she was pretty little, and then it just kind of, I don't want to do that. And so, but volleyball, when it hit her, you just know it hits you hard, and it hit her hard, and that's what I want, because that strives them to do better for everything, their grades, their everything, their how they take care of themselves, and all the things. It teaches them to be prompt, and teaches them the whole idea of having a good work ethic and all of that. So yeah, so for me, it's I can't say enough about what it teaches kids. But I also don't like them to have that whole goal set. I can't say that I wouldn't like it. I worry that if I had a grandkid that was so motivated to hit it through college, and then because I would worry that they'd want to go pro, and we all know how many people get to go pro, I would just worry. I mean, you can't help but kind of have that failing feeling if you don't make it, and that's what you planned on being. So, and like I said, how many people get to be pro? So that's the whole thing for me. But
sure, yeah. Well, if you take a poll of, like, let's just say you took an anonymous poll and you wrote down on a blank sheet of paper and you handed it out to, like, let's say a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade middle school, and you had them write down what do you want to be? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? You know, a majority of those kids are going to put down content creator, and you know why they would put that down? Because they don't have to go to school to do it. They just magically start making money at doing stuff that they already look at anyways. I can't tell you how many, like, of my coworkers' kids and stuff, when I'm being nice at a company function or whatever, like, oh, hey, how's school? How's life? And, have you, the typical chit chat, banter stuff you have when you're just kind of hanging out with people. Every one of those kids are like, oh man, I can't wait. I'm going to start my own Twitch stream. I'm going to be my own YouTube person. Yeah, I'm saying that, and here we are doing this, but I'm not doing this as a job or anything. I'm doing this to just come up here and have a chat. But yeah, these people these kids, that's what they want to be in life. They want to be content creators. And I'm just like, I don't see that being viable. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think it's regional. Sports wise, I mean, different sports are popular in different parts of the country. I don't see any lack of football players in Texas or Florida, But this new generation, these kids were born like 2007, 2000, they're a little different than the previous decade of kids. I'll tell you, they're a lot more based than you think.
mm-hmm.
There is kind of like I'm expecting great bands to come back or something here in the next 5 to 10 years. Because they kind of grew up in that, going to elementary and junior high, late 2000s, 2010s. And they're just sick of being told what to think, what to say. I don't know. It's just my experience anyway. But I see a lot more of kids kind of this senior class, this kind of era right now being a little bit different. And it goes in stages,
Yeah, and I think it also depends on the area, and kind of where kids are at, and like here, sports is still a really big thing. All of our kids are. I mean, I think if you tried to take out sports here, you'd have a big fight on your hands. These parents they're all very, very motivated. Now, they all believe their kids are going to go to school and be ducks or beavers, or, they're certain of it. And, I guess whatever they want to think, you always want the best for your kid. But I think that being said, I think it depends on the area that you're from as to whether, like, say in Idaho where I grew up, yeah, they're into their sports, and the families would definitely fight for it, but not like families like these parents would. Dude, they'd put their house up to make sure that these kids all got to do their sports and stuff. So, I think that every area is different, but I worry about the kids and if they're just programmed in by society and the education system, these kids are screwed. I mean, our parents really have to take a big leap in their kids nowadays, because if they don't, they'll lose them quick, like even before they hit freshman year in high school.
Well, it's a whole new economy too, I hear it a lot around places of People like, my day, we need to get this and, go be a carpenter, or, go. Yeah, that's good to a point. Plumber, they're always going to need plumbers. That's going to be a good. There are some trade schools, but it's a different world. I mean, look at Peter Thiel, all this AI stuff. Go on the job market. Look what jobs are available, what they pay.
I know.
It's all the computer shit. It's all AI type shit. Getting, and soon they're not going to need programmers and stuff like that after a while. But I mean, no, this generation. I mean, that's done. Going to go work in a factory, for 50 years and get a pension or some shit. Those days are done.
Yep. I kind of hate the robotic way. I mean, like everybody's gonna. We've already been feeling like we're walking around being robots, and now I feel like it's just instilling it more the younger they are. I mean, I just don't. I don't. Sometimes my daughter will look at me and say, "I don't even want to hear what you have to say, Mom, because you're gonna say something negative that I don't know how to fix it. So don't even tell me that shit. You could be right, but I don't want to hear it." And I don't blame her. I mean, but on the other hand, I still want her to know there's a reality that you better at least prepare for.
What do you think about that Baker Shaker?
What about?
Or did you just quit talking because I came up?
No, I've been talking the whole time. I'm trying to let you have your words in. I'm being courteous.
No, go ahead, sir. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. I think you guys heard me go on and on about how everything's getting automated and people are losing jobs left and right, yet nobody's replacing that lost income tax, which, we went on a big rant about no taxes, but right now it's the system we have. So you automate a job out of existence. Let's say you have a department of 20 people that spin a fidget and they make $100,000 a year. Well, they're making $100,000 a year. They're probably only bringing home like $45,000 because the rest of it's in taxes, right? Well, you eliminate 8 of those jobs and you've only got so many people left fidgeting spinners. And then, who's replacing that? Who is replacing that income? You can make the argument that, well, this is just like a normal economy. That's just what happens. People get laid off. They're trying to run thinner, or they're trying to run leaner. It doesn't matter. It's just kind of how it goes. But that I argue that these computer science majors that have these programming degrees and whatnot, they're fucked. These musicians that make music for a living, I can do it in 30 seconds on AI and make it sound just as good, and you'd have no idea I did it. Movies, you can go and do AI movies. It's getting better and better and better. These type of industries are gonna implode. And who's gonna replace that particular kind of tax revenue coming in? And these kids coming up, I don't know if they see this. Maybe some of the smart ones do, and they realize, well, I'm gonna go be a plumber because you're not gonna automate that out, and that's probably true. I mean, not anytime soon, at least.
That you're thinking like Marv thinks, and I don't think that. I think it won't be long. At the speed they're going now, I don't think it'll be long before robots will pretty much take over any job that you or I or anybody else can do. I do. And that just irritates Marv. I said it. I probably said it 3 times today, and he was like, "It's not the cruise. You can't just be a mechanic." I'm like, I get what you're saying, Marv, but I don't think you understand where the technology is now. I mean, they got robots that can literally fight and move better than most people that are 65, 70 years old, and it's getting better and better. So it makes me think that, yes, they will be able to mechanic on shit, and they'll be able to get really small ones that they could put in really small areas, and because that's one of the complaints in the airline industry is that people are too fat to fit in the airplanes to work on them.
Well, quit parking taco trucks on the outside while the mechanics are waiting to fix something.
Right? It's pretty bad. I mean, when you have like 5 mechanics out of your 200 that can fit in the areas that you need the fitter, the rest of them all have to, stand outside and pass you tools.
Well, regardless, what it doesn't defeat the fact, or it doesn't explain the fact of who's going to replace this missing income wage that was there now isn't. And these companies, they're not getting hit with any kind of incentive to keep people around. They're like, yeah, fuck it, we're going to automate this. We're not going to have to pay a wage. Therefore, the state's not going to collect income tax, or the federal government's not going to collect it. We're just going to shrink. We're just going to keep shrinking to the point where it doesn't exist anymore. Meanwhile, everything's getting automated. People are left out in the streets. And then, oh, by the way, the new generation coming up that has no experience, that has no kind of redeeming qualities as far as like the job market's concerned. I mean, because they don't have any kind of experience. Mm-hmm. You know, there's gonna be a crossroads. There's a crisis coming, and I think it's gonna help exacerbate the fact that we're also having a population or a cultural collapse on the population front too. I mean, a lot of people talk about how, well, yeah, but the population's up these days, but people aren't having kids. I mean, you look at the generation out now. I mean, somebody did a study, and I think it was like for every, I can't remember how it was worded, but basically it went from 36% down to like 11%. It's an absolute collapse, population collapse across the globe. Yep. It's not just here, it's everywhere.
Yep. I know my kids are worried about having more kids. I mean, I have 3 kids. 2 of them have 1 apiece. The other one doesn't have any.
I'm not having kids.
I know lots of people that have chosen not to. And I got to say that there's a piece of me that doesn't blame them at all. I mean...
No, I chose early on. I'm not having kids. I'm not dealing with it. I can't have kids now anyways, but that's not the point. Not having kids, I went down that path anyways because I didn't want to have to struggle with this. I mean, I saw what it was like struggling growing up as it was. I didn't want to have to put my own spawn through that. So no kids for me. And it's for the exact reason. I don't want to bring them up in a society where it's politically divisive, and you know, you can't afford. I mean, when they turn 18, when I turned 18, I was able to afford getting out of the house. But when they turn 18, they're going to be living with me till I'm, you know, they're probably 25 or 26 because that's just how expensive things are.
Yeah.
I'd say it's okay for people to have kids. We should go out there and have some kids.
Multiply. What'd the Bible say about multiplying?
It says, be fruitful and multiply, not be gay and blow a guy. I think that's what it says. I'm kidding. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that at all. I was exaggerating.
We're gonna, you know what? We'll weed out Ben here in a minute. He'll come right up. If he's here, he'll be right in chat. He must not be here. He'd already said something. I don't know. I know that it all seems really crazy to me. And I think, I know I was looking away again, damn it. It seems really crazy to me. And when I went down the whole nicotine, now I want to go research the rest of it. Because like I said, I didn't get a look at the whole thing. But, like, what does it really, what does it entail on how it cures stuff? And, I want to know those things. So,
well, what does pot, what is marijuana, what is THC, what does it do? Now, I understand that a lot of people say, well, pot's not addictive. And I would argue you're probably correct.
It's not.
But there's a lot of people, I think it has addictive traits. It may not be addictive as itself, but it makes people feel a certain way that they're addicted to that feeling. And the only way they know how to do that is via pot.
I think that people think they are, but I don't think they are. To me, addiction means you can't stop, and if you do, you have serious complications because of it. Just because you want something really bad and you can't have it, I don't believe that means you're addicted.
Well, I guess the way I see addiction is that it's something that you can't function without.
Yeah, but that's like that's a matter of opinion. when I say a matter of opinion because somebody can't function, well, I know lots of chicks that'd be like, I didn't have a cigarette all day. Oh my God, I think I'm going to die. I can't function. I can't make it. The fuck you are. You're fine. You're going to be just fine. I mean, yeah, maybe you do want a cigarette and you probably got a little bit of a headache. That's the addictive part of it that I don't think has anything to do with nicotine as far as now what I've been researching. I think it more has to do with something else, some other chemicals that not having it makes you have a headache. So, but I don't think that it is like heroin if you don't have it, or alcohol where you could literally kill you if you don't have it.
I mean, so, you can die from smoking weed though. I mean, it's
no bullshit.
You can. It's still combusting. You're still smoking a combustible item into your lungs. It's still creating tar. It's the combustion process of inhaling the smoke. Now, if you were just to take the gummies, and that's not going to hurt you, not from what I can tell. But like the act of smoking is still not good.
Well, it might not be good, but it won't kill you.
Well, I think eventually it will.
I don't know. Maybe. I think there's things that you can do to rid yourself of that kind of stuff. I mean, there's tons of ways to detoxify and get rid of that so that you're, not totally killing yourself.
The way I see it is you're not going to die of nothing. So you only live once, go have fun. I don't give a shit. I personally don't smoke pot. I never have. I've never done any kind of drug. And that's just the way I chose life. But I'm not condemning people that do. I can care less. I would rather be around a pothead than an alcoholic.
Ditto.
And any pothead I've ever met, and I mean potheads by like dope heads, whatever you want to call them, the people that, they start with pot and then they transition into something a little bit harder, whatever that might be in that path,
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. I meant potheads that just fucking sit around and smoke dope all day.
Well, I guess I in my mind, I differentiate potheads and dope heads because, potheads, like you said, they lay around, they hit the bong, they eat pizza and drink Dr. Pepper, whatever. But the dope heads are the ones that they smoke pot, and when they're not smoking pot, they're thinking about other drugs that they can do to get that high. They're always chasing that next thing. You know what I mean? That's why the whole argument of pot being a gateway drug was ever invented, because they like that feeling. They want to have something else. They want to experience more intense, longer lasting this and that. And that's why they say, oh, well, it's a gateway drug. It's again, matter of opinion, and it's a matter of your tolerance. I myself know my personality enough to know that the last thing I want to try is pot, because I know that. Look at this, right? I get on YouTube, I start podcasting, like fuck it, I'm full tilt. I'm jumping head first and going all in. Last thing I want to do is drugs.
Yeah, I just think that when people think they're addicted, they ain't necessarily. Hello, LaToya. Welcome.
I'll fully admit that I'm addicted to college football.
But you're not, because it doesn't give you a headache.
I do have a headache.
Can't do it.
I haven't had it in a while.
Lies.
I can't wait to meet my dealer on Saturday and get my hit of Farmageddon.
That's lies. Lies. He's lying, you guys. He's not addicted. He just thinks he needs it.
Well, I do need it.
The same as LW does. LW thinks he has to have it. Oh, God.
Have what? Football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's nice, LaToya. Thank you, Callie.
It's a hobby more than anything, or just like a entertainment, just like
that's right.
You women have.
Yeah. When we watch Gigolos.
The Drunk Housewives of New York or whatever the fuck all year long.
I know. What do I watch? I watch.
Did y'all see what Tammy did on last week's episode? Is no different than, hey man, did you see that pick six, Baker, in that game? It's pretty
exactly
great.
And Duggar hit the nail on the head. Football keeps us sane.
Football keeps us from becoming genocidal maniacs.
Actually, you guys act like that when a game gets going.
Well, it depends on who's playing.
See? You just admitted it.
Yeah, I have an addiction.
Can you say that on here?
What?
Dick?
Addiction.
Addiction. I can in gutterspub.
Oh.
There's all kinds of phalluses drawn on the bathroom wall, including my phone number for some reason.
I hope all your dreams come true.
It says for mediocre time, call Baker.
LW must have wrote that.
Yeah. If you want to leave wanting more, call this number. And then I just write my number.
In big, bold, black letters.
Do you love disappointment? Call this guy.
That's right.
It's got 2 thumbs up with the number.
So has Fools left already? Or are we not seeing him till next week or what?
No, he'll be here this week.
Oh.
It's next week he's not going to be around.
All right, you got no excuse, Fools. Where the fuck are ya? Rooster. Hello, sir. Wanda. Howdy, ma'am.
You've been neglecting your chat. I can't believe you. What
No,
kind of
I said
establishment
hi.
are you running here?
I said hi. I did. I said hi to everybody. TF is in football mode. I know. I think he's gonna just ignore me till football season's over. That's fine.
He's a Miami fan. He'll come back at about second, third week.
Mm-hmm. Fine. No. I
was
know
just,
he's busy.
I was just about to ask a question, and I realized this isn't a football show.
You can ask whatever question you want. I don't give a shit.
I'll save it. I'll save it for a football
Fine.
show.
Save it. Then you'll forget.
It's probably true. Probably will.
What did you think of my rabbit hole picture?
I think the chick's hot.
Yeah, that's
She's
cool.
pretty hot, isn't she? I picked her out. No, I didn't.
I missed most of the beginning. What was the rabbit hole?
The rabbit hole was the nicotine. Do you think it's addictive or not? Do you think nicotine's addictive?
Yes.
Do you know that there's nicotine in food?
It's the hardest thing I've ever tried to quit.
Yeah. Did you know that they put stuff in the cigarettes to make it addictive?
Yeah.
It's called pyrazines, and you need to check it out.
Yeah, and some of the pure nicotine, people get addicted to those too. I have before.
It's not the nicotine.
Well, it keeps you craving. I tell you
The
that.
nicotine's not the issue. They made you think that. It's the pyrazine and the 500 other chemicals that they stuck in it that make it addictive and make it a cancer-causing thing.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I mean, I
look
know
it up.
the chemicals. Yeah, the chemicals.
There's
I mean,
over 500. And the pyrazine is what actually is addicting. I have a video that you could watch on it. It's called Nicotine Cures. Oh, that's the other thing, is nicotine actually cures things like myocarditis, Parkinson's, MS. It dissolves tumors. So nicotine is in celery. It's in all the nightshades, tomatoes, all that good shit. Egg.
I mean, this
It's
is
in.
just allegedly. This is.
No, you can look it up.
Well, I know I can't look up and it says nicotine cures cancer. I know it won't say that.
No, go find that nicotine is in these foods. Nicotine is a natural substance. And it's not a bad one. But they made you think it was because that's what they told you. Because if they tell you something long enough, you'll believe it.
Okay, so what do they put in cigarettes and make you crave it after sex?
What do they put in cigarettes to make you crave one after sex?
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has to do with everybody that's addicted to cigarettes goes, yeah, I need a cigarette. Uh-huh. I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with I did the same thing after I, pulled weeds. Now I need a cigarette. It didn't matter what it was.
And cigarettes are just good. I mean, nothing after a big meal, like a nice, just sit there and have a nice cigarette. They make you
smell terrible. They make your hands stink.
Well,
Marvin used to call me ashtray.
Was that a bedroom
ashtray
thing?
breath.
Or what?
Yeah, was that a bedroom thing or like a...
Ashtray breath.
Okay, is that
if
a bedroom
he smelled
thing?
the cigarette.
I admit, I do like the fact that here we don't have smoking in bars. I really enjoy that. But with that being said, it's a bar. What do you expect?
The only reason I hate it is because I can't have a cigarette. I think it's shitty that people can't smoke in bars. I think that's the one place they should get to smoke. Are you serious? It's a freaking bar.
Fuck, I remember when McDonald's had ashtrays at their damn tables.
I can't imagine telling people they can't smoke in a bar. Even though I'm a non-smoker now, as of 2016.
So that's the reason you're trying to bring everybody down, is because since you can't smoke, you want everybody else to suffer.
Actually, I thought it kind of made me think I could smoke again, to tell you the truth. Here's the deal. Here's one of the things that I figured out. There's certain cigarettes that don't have this pyrazine in it or the 500 chemicals that they've been stuffing in it.
Isn't like American Spirits?
Yes.
Don't have as many?
Don't have any.
Don't have any?
None. Change your brand. If you're going to smoke, change it.
But I know people who are addicted to those.
They think they are. You have to understand they think they are. I don't know. We should check it out to see if there's pyrazine in American cigarettes. Let's see.
You mean American Spirit cigarettes?
Yeah, is there.
What's in Lucky cigarettes? Because I'll admit, I kind of like the smell of those.
Pyrazine. Oops.
Or a Black and Mild.
In American Spirit? Is that what we said? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, I've seen, quote unquote experts, everybody, there's two sides to every story, but people who sit all day, 10 hours a day at work, staring at 5 computer screens, and they don't get out of their chair for 10 hours other than lunch and go piss, that it's actually worse than smoking.
Oh, yeah.
And that if you exercised and walked and ran and ate healthier and still smoked, you'd be healthier than just sitting there at an office job for 10 hours a day.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
While American Spirit cigarettes are marked as having 100% addictive free natural tobacco, they do not contain pyrazine. Haha. See, AI can't even work around that one.
It's like,
I think that's been known forever that there's chemicals in cigarettes. I mean, there was a whole thing in the 80s about it.
But here's the deal. They put the chemicals in them. Why would they do that?
Well, because it's profit. If you get addicted, you're going to buy their brand.
But
it's
they
the same
told
reason.
you that. They literally told us, there's chemicals in cigarettes. But we never went, oh, there's just chemical. They must have grew there. No, they didn't. They put the chemicals in it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't
They're
disagree.
killing us. Like literally.
One of the most factual things you've ever said on here.
Well,
I just think it's kind of strange that.
Well, can we go down to conspiracy theory saying that this is a form of population control that the WHO and the WEF wants to do?
That's what this doctor talks about.
I'll just say, without saying it, what they started doing in the 90s on a certain schedule for young children that increased from like just a few to, anywhere from 50 to 80. All those people are in their 35 now. Everybody talking about how nobody has any kids now. That's probably more the reason than just not fucking like people say. Because let me tell you something, people are still fucking.
Well, some are, but they've definitely messed with
Most
stuff.
are.
I don't think, yeah, but I don't think it's like they used to. I don't think it's like, I don't think that we have nymphomaniacs like we used to. Like normal nymphomaniacs, like not the ones that want the ball and chain hanging in Pretty Woman or whatever that show was. What was it? 50 Shades of whatever.
Nymphomaniacs? I didn't even know that was a term. How can you be a nymphomaniac?
A nymphomaniac? Are you?
Yeah, that doesn't compute with me. Are you saying they have too much sex?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't compute.
Okay, see? Do you see what I mean? But if you asked a kid that was, not a kid, but somebody that was 30 years old that, or younger, they would be like, oh, hell no. I mean, yeah, I get it every now and then. Of course I like it. Because they're, dudes. But really it's not, I don't think it's to that degree. And I do believe it's because of what these kids have been, what they've been juiced up with.
You could be right. I mean, I think that a lot of it's in our food too. I mean, look how many preservatives are in the food. Mm-hmm. I mean, people that live on fast food, I don't understand this, but I know plenty of people that don't cook at home. They just go out and eat. Now, there's the argument they give me, and I can't necessarily disagree, that they live by themselves. It's hard to cook for one person. Therefore, it's cheaper for them just to go out and eat on their way home, to grab something fast and go home. Okay, I understand that. I've been in that situation before where I lived by myself and I did that. But with that being said, it's killing you. You're basically you're sacrificing whatever. I'm certain that here in the next 25, 30 years, because of all the shit that they've been putting in our food since the 90s, I'm certain we're going to have a pandemic of colon and stomach cancers, because they're going to find out that the water they used to rehydrate the beans at goddamn Taco Bell had something in it, some carcinogen in it, that just fucking grew an extra, I don't know, limb inside your stomach and just fucking killed you. I can see that happening. McDonald's, I mean, you've seen those close-up views of McDonald's French fries where it just looks like filaments, or their burger meat, or quote-unquote burger meat, which we all know that that's not real meat.
Holy's going to be back here. Well, actually, some of it was real meat. Remember, there were maggots on it. Maggots don't grow. They don't.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
They don't go to fake meat, but they served that.
Yeah. Either way, that's the kind of stuff that is, that we're processing. We eat things in this country that they banned over in Europe. They've banned over in hell, even Russia. They won't serve their people this. Here we are, we're like, fuck yeah, put it in there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes it look better.
Oh yeah, like I don't give a shit if it makes it redder. Stop putting bugs in my goddamn food.
Yep.
That's one reason I liked RFK Jr. I mean, now that he's been in office,
Me too.
he'll do a few things that I like, and then he'll take 2 steps back and do something that sucks.
Yeah.
Which I don't get. Sometimes it just contradicts himself and doing
I'd
both.
like to slap him right upside
But
the
like
head.
he's been saying,
You'd like to more than slap them.
Nobody will ever. He's paid for these people to debate him, like Peter Hotez and all these people. They just won't, because they can't prove. He went to Fauci's office and demanded studies face to face, and he said, "We don't have them here, but I'll send them to you." And he never got them. So RFK, I don't know if he sued him or did something to get them, and they pretty much admitted, "Well, we don't have any studies."
Exactly.
How they do studies is just like, okay, let's say we give you this boop boop or whatever. If you don't die within 72 hours, it's totally healthy. So
well, they sort of kind of did that during the jab. They just used us as experimental puppets, and it's like, here, you have to get this, or you're gonna spread it to other people.
Just within months of that thing. That's why I've been so on that, or I was on that topic for a while. It just is what it is now. But I personally knew 2 teenage girls and a woman in her 30s who I knew very well, that after they got it, they can't have babies anymore. So I doubt that I just happen to know, like, I'm the only one that just happens to know 3 people. Like, I'm sure it's way worse, and that is also contributing to people just in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we don't even know what the outcome of all this is going to be, but
Nope.
you know, I remember seeing that
Well,
documentary
yeah.
with where people's blood was congealing and was causing those weird,
Yes.
you know, those morticians and the little
Protein. Yes.
Yeah, the protein that was
I
building up in
knew
their
a couple
veins.
in Idaho.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But too is like the point I was trying to make is like there's no long-term studies. There's like when all this stuff started in like 90, 91 or whatever, these people are just now 34. There's no 10-year study. Let's see how many of these. Let's take 5,000 people on this side, 5,000 people on this side, and see which how it ends up. And it just doesn't. It's never happened. We don't even know these people's lifespans.
Nope.
When I got 8
Yeah.
and they're getting 75 total, like what's their lifespan? Do they croak when they're 60? We don't know. We don't know.
We have no idea. But you can make an argument now that, I mean, people are living longer. There's no doubt about it. We're living longer than we did from the 40s and 50s. So, I mean, there have been medical improvements, but are we just figuring out ways of keeping people, like, here's a pill to, you know, if we would just take care of ourselves now with the medical advances we have now, I mean, hell, you can probably live to be 90 or 100, but, you know, we got to put all this crap in our food and kill us off earlier.
Well, we were living longer.
Were we?
I don't think we are now.
I thought the
I
average
think
age before was like 60.
Yeah, but that was way back. And then we actually were living longer. And then they started doing the repercussions of all the child immunizations, I think, took effect.
Well,
this
it's
is
kinda
just my
skewed.
opinion, YouTube.
And it's kind of skewed in the olden days, I guess you could say. But, you know, before antibiotics and access to stuff like that, I mean, it would screw it up in a town or village or wherever in the world. Somebody got a cut on their foot and, you know, 10 out of the 30 kids died in their teens by infections, you know, that are easy curable. So a lot of the statistics were screwed up by that, because then you'd still have somebody else who had lived to 92, but, you know.
Well, and just
so
like
many people died when they were young of simple things.
Mm-hmm. Well, and just like the stats over the whole COVID thing of them saying, you know, well, they died from. No, they didn't. They, you know, then you find out, my brother died from a car wreck, but they said he tested positive as COVID, so that's what they put it down as. I mean, there was so many of those that did that. And then there were people that they said died of it. They ended up in the hospital, were on, you know, ventilators. And then, the next thing you know, lo and behold, well, come to find out, you know, Aunt Alice's lung blew up. Sorry. We tried to keep her alive, though.
Yeah, I don't know if this is fake news, but I saw something somewhere where men that haven't had the shot who donate their goods apparently is going for a premium.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I did hear that.
Did you see that too?
I did. So who's? I know, Mr. Duggar. I'm sorry, honey. Yep. It just way too much. I think at this point, if you don't see the light of day, you're pretty. I mean, you really don't want to see it. And you know, one of the things that I said to Marv was, when you are fed something for so long, it's hard for you to not see that when light comes to something. When some light comes to it and they're telling you something different, you're like, no, cancer's bad. And it, you know, and it comes from just smoking, or it comes from smoking, and chemo and radiation will fix it. And that is, I mean, that's just because you've been fed that for all those times. And even though we've had people in our own family that actually all of them have gotten it and went that way and ended up dying from it. So, no, Even though we were told it, we still believed that it was going to work. I don't get it.
And when those people that took that shot, or the jab, sorry, the people that took that jab had to basically sign a waiver saying, hey, we're not liable and neither is the manufacturer of this said product, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I'm not taking it.
It doesn't
clearly
matter.
You're telling us something.
That didn't matter. You didn't have to sign anything. They've all been given immunity. All of them. They were all given immunity.
Yeah, but it was in that
and
paperwork.
So were
it was in that pamphlet you got when you went there, and it was in there. It was in ink. It said, yeah, we're not liable. This is basically an experimental drug.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get this thing demonetized.
Well, I mean, it's just like you were saying that people, you've been tricked to think this and that. I've heard you say a bunch of times. It's funny. I mean, just like all this stuff, people have been brainwashed and terrified that you have to do this, you have to do that, or whatever. Do you know even like breakfast meat was a marketing campaign?
Mm-hmm.
I did know that. Yeah, the bacon. That's how bacon got so
The
popular.
bacon and sausage, the pork industry was like, we're fucking losing money. We need to get in the game. So they hired this guy who's like famous for marketing like cigarettes to women. I forget his name. But most people didn't used to eat breakfast. You've just seen it on TV since, like the 50s of like people waking up, going in there and eating toast, bacon and eggs and big old hunks of sausage and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where it wasn't a thing back in the day. One, they didn't have enough food, but two, they ate lunch and dinner. They got up and went to work, worked up an appetite. That's where a lot of this intermittent fasting theory comes. And it does work. I've tried it before. It does work pretty quickly too.
Mm-hmm.
We just wake up and don't eat for 5 hours. But yeah, eating bacon. I mean, I love bacon. Don't get me wrong, but breakfast was a marketing campaign.
Well, breakfast cereals. It's the worst thing you can feed your kids, man. They are the worst things. I mean, you cannot pronounce most of them of the ingredients because they're chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvin eats Raisin Bran, and it still irritates me, but it's kind of the lesser of all the evils in that aisle. But I hate even going down that aisle. I go down the bread aisle and that aisle, and we still go down the ice cream aisle, which is like one of the worst. But I do try to look at some of the ingredients to make sure we're not getting the nastiest stuff. And that's basically for Lucas and Papa, because they like their ice cream bars. So, but I try not to even go down there. I try to stay on the outside of the store. And then I worry. I mean, the other night I made a roast. I'm pretty sure that thing was glued together. Oh, that thing was so gross. Oh, look, it was just gross. Hey, Jaron Carter, critters and friends, welcome. Yeah. It had no flavor, and like it just kind of fell apart like it shouldn't have. Like it just didn't look right. I told Marvin, "Are you sure you want to eat this?" He goes, "Well, let's try some." Yeah, we were both like, "Yep, that's gross."
I love it. He's like, "Fuck it, let's do it.
Let's just try it." Yeah. But he said it reminds me of like if their cattle wasn't fed off with grain before they sent them to the meat market.
I know what you're
then
talking about.
It tasted kind of grassy, and I don't know how else to put it, but this was even worse.
It's a gamey flavor to me.
Well, it's not quite the gamey flavor. It's a little different, but it's, I don't know how
and the
to
fat's
describe
yellow
it.
inside the meat.
It's just kind of different, and it doesn't. I don't like the taste of it. I would I'd rather they finish them off with a little bit of grain, and then they taste much better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's what I have a hard time going in that aisle, and then of course I have a hard time going in all the other aisles. I pretty much stick to the outside aisles. The other thing I have a hard time with though is the fish, because of all the weird shit I've seen.
All the worms and shit that comes out of there.
Fish.
Oh yeah, That's gross.
So, and then what they've done to shrimp, it's one of the only shellfish or whatever you want to call it that I like.
They're bugs.
Or bugs. Yeah. And I don't know. There's something. I've watched them juice them up, make them fat, all kinds of weird stuff. I'm like, oh, great.
By the way, that's what meat markets do with steaks. They when they get the meat and they cut it, they'll blow it full of water to make it more plump and sell more.
Yep.
It's a goddamn scam.
Yep.
I just saw some shrimp earlier. I was scrolling through Twitter. I saw shrimp sold at Walmart. They're recalling.
Ooh, don't touch it
because it's radioactive.
It's Walmart. Of course it is. It's like if you're buying shrimp at Walmart, that's like buying sushi at a gas station.
Yeah, no, I don't buy no meat or vegetables or fruit from Walmart. I just don't like their produce, and
I don't go to Walmart, period.
Well, we only really go there. I like to go if I want to get candles. And then we will go if like there's something specialty. Sometimes Marvin will go there to get oil because it's cheaper. And then what was the other thing? Sometimes when I need something for my RV, sometimes it'll be cheaper there. Or I can get it right away versus Amazon that might take me a day.
Well, I don't even buy stuff on Amazon anymore because of how Chinese it is.
I know.
I mean, you have to filter through so much crap to find what good luck finding a cable. If you're in the market for an HDMI cable and you go on Amazon, it's like, oh yeah, I can find this for $6. Oh. Little did you know that's like HDMI 2.1, and you have no idea unless you're actually reading the fine print. So you get what you pay for.
We went into Verizon today to get my phone, and there was this old guy come walking in there, and they were slow as shit. Their customer service sucked. It was awful. But this old guy walks in, and there's somebody in front of him, and plus we're just sitting there waiting for my phone to get done. And he says, well, hopefully this is quicker than Verizon. They sent me on a wild goose chase. And then, of course, Marvin's like, oh, I know all about that. I dealt with the sons of bitches yesterday. And then I'm like, oh, my God, here we go. And then he sits there for 25 minutes waiting for somebody to come out and talk to him. They finally come out, and they don't talk to him. They help the lady that they had went in the back for. And then he's like, could you get me some help? Do you got anybody else back there? And he kind of peeks around the corner, and they're like, no, they're all busy or whatever. But he sits back and he waits and he waits and he waits. Another 20 minutes goes by, I think, before they actually came out. When they came out, they were very nice, but he was like, okay, well, this is what I need. And they're like, he said his phone wasn't charging. And the guy said, well, okay, I'll take it back and see if it'll charge. Well, it did charge for them. And they're like, well, we think it's your, it could be your charger or your brick. And he's like, well, what the hell's a brick? I don't have a brick. And they're like, well, yeah, it's this. And, da-da-da-da-da. Anyways, he's like, well, you got any of those? And the guy's like, well, yeah, here's what the cord looks like. And, he's showing him the one that's sitting on the counter. And the guy's like, okay, so where do I get those at? And he's like, well, you can get them pretty much anywhere. And Marvin goes, they have them here. and the guy goes, oh, yeah, we do have them here. And the old guy goes, well, I fucking asked you that. He was so pissed at that kid. I mean, to tell you, it was so funny. Here's these two. Here's Marvin. Marvin was acting like he was 90. It was so funny. I just died laughing. So, needless to say, they sold this old bastard a charger, the brick, and the cord, $64 for a phone. I just about shit. I couldn't believe it.
Shocking.
Who charges $64? That was just crazy.
Yeah. Well, I need to get going. I got to eat some dinner, and I got to get to bed. I got to wake up early for work in the morning. So gotta love 10-hour shifts.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you came by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys got it from here, right?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you got. Hey, we got 2 hours and 14 minutes down. We're doing good.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy the conversation,
Yeah.
chat, love the banter, and you guys take care. We'll obviously talk to you guys later.
All right. Talk to you later. Thanks
See you,
for
L-Dub.
hanging.
See you,
Bye.
Gutters.
Later, Baker.
So, yeah. Besides that, what else do I know?
Nothing.
Nothing. I know nothing. Heard stuff about Real ID that I heard was like phony bullshit.
Phony.
Well, so unless you plan to fly, you don't have to have a Real ID. But they made us think that you did. So if you don't ever plan to fly, you don't necessarily have to have the Real ID. You can still just have the normal ID. But
Do you know
they
how
made
many-
us
Do you know how many
believe-
people fly, though?
Not everybody.
I know not everybody, but do you know how many people do? A lot of people.
Yes. It still doesn't mean that they made people think that they had to have a Real ID. Even if, they weren't going to fly. And in all reality, you don't have to have one just to fly. But there's lots of steps you have to go through just to do it if you're not going to do that, and it's a pain in the ass. You better just have the Real ID if you're going to fly. But also, a passport works. So, there's that. And a Real ID don't work outside the country. Only a passport will.
Now, you said something the other day on your show that it just popped into my head. Being talking about that, and I have to address it.
Okay.
Besides when you called me the MF word. But anyway,
Yeah, let's
you-
talk about it.
you said
bitch.
something, you're like, I know, I can't remember what it was about, but you're like, I know we're going to have to sacrifice our freedoms, but that's okay because we need to get this done. And I'm just curious, what was that about?
Okay.
Because I missed the part that you were talking about it, where it's okay for anybody,
No.
I want to know so I can
Okay.
either agree with you or rage quit the show.
Right. So, sacrificing your freedoms, what I meant by that is the fact that with the illegals coming here, they are doing, like, sometimes they're stopping vehicles and wanting to see everybody's ID. And they're doing it because they want to make sure that everybody's legal. So that's what I mean by taking some of our freedoms away, the same as they did on 9/11. However,
Which I don't agree with those either.
I don't either. But I also think there's kind of a level of where they should be able to do that. And herein lies the problem: is where is that level that makes it? Well, where is the line that says it's they can come in so far to be able to check and make sure people are legal? I mean, it's pretty obvious that I'm probably legal. I mean, hello. So I just don't understand why they'd ever need to see my ID. That would bother me. But again, I still think there's going to be times that things are going to come up that we're going to have to give up freedom so that they can check on somebody to see whether they're legal or not. It might not have to pertain to us. It may have. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what the deal might be. A whole line of traffic stop because, they got to check out a whole rig full of illegals or whatever. And now I'm behind the traffic and that, it weighs on my freedoms to get this dealt with, but there's things we're going to have to go through to get it dealt with. I think. So that's what I meant by it.
Can I respectfully disagree?
Sure.
Okay. Just throughout history in this country, typically it'll be something like that, like not after 9/11, stuff like that. But I can't think of anything really where you've just in like the last 50 years that you've ever got those freedoms back and they don't use that to expand on. You can go all the way back to, taxes, but you're never going to get that back. Like all this $185 billion for the border, that's like twice as much as Russia spends on their national defense. That's how much money that is just for one thing. And they're working on things where they can scan your eyeballs from like 10 to 15 yards away. And it's just mass surveillance state that Trump's buddies like Peter Thiel and that's what China does. Ultimately, America's just trying to keep up with China as far as technology and stuff like that. And they're just trying to match. They can't let China get ahead of us in anything because we want to remain the superpower.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's too late to roll back the clock on all that stuff. But I'm of the opinion, nah, y'all fucked up the immigration problem. Just close the border and fix it yourselves. You don't get to scan my eyeballs because you fucked up.
Well, I do agree there. I do agree. I don't think that each one of us should be checked like that. I just don't think that we should be going through anything like that to, first of all, anybody that's hiding, they're going to find ways to hide themselves from that kind of stuff. So, all you're doing is taking away our freedoms. You're not finding anybody. They're just going to put shades on. Hello. Or, they're going to do things to hide who they are if they're concerned. So I think that
this could probably, I don't know, the stuff they're spending that money, they could probably read through a cheap pair of sunglasses from fucking Walmart.
Maybe.
Probably.
But who knows? I don't know.
I tend to lean on not giving up any because you never get them back.
I don't want to give up any either.
You never
agree.
Get them back.
Yep, I do agree. And I don't think we will get them back. It's kind of like the same thing. Remember when they told us, okay, we're going to raise the cost of shipping. I remember this when I still worked out of the house. They told us that I worked in Central Supply, and they raised the cost of shipping, which just fucked my budget up big time. And I had to figure out ways that I was going to find these residents all their stuff, even though, my budget didn't go up, but shipping did. And so they said it would be for a short time, only while the gas prices were up. That was when Obama was in office. Those shipping prices never ever went down. They were still the same price all the way through. They never ever went down. They've only gotten higher. In all this time, they never went down. And that was the whole reason that they went up was because the gas was high. And then when it went down, no shipping costs ever went down. I don't remember anybody ever going, well, my shipping's not too bad. In fact, that's how come we came up with the whole Amazon thing, because then you could just do Prime and it wouldn't cost you nothing for shipping, unless, of course, it was some big item like a tractor or bed or, then they would charge you shipping.
Yeah. That's how much money Amazon makes is they lose money on a lot of orders. Like if you go on Amazon, you buy something for $3.99, they're losing money.
Oh yeah.
But they make so much money that all the negative doesn't even, quantify to them basically.
What I notice is I got to say that the last month or two, I have noticed a decline in how quickly I get my orders. Like, there for the long time, I could order at night and it'd be here on my door in the morning. Pretty much everything. And then it was like, just a few items. And now it's like, it's taken 2 days for us, like, to get usually anything that we need. Where before it would, even if I got it earlier today, I could at least get it by later tomorrow afternoon. Nope.
Is it the same products?
Yeah, a lot of them are. Some of them are different, but, I always try to look for those things. Like what I'm noticing is when I go to Amazon to find things that you would think would be there, it's never giving me like, oh, here's one you can get tomorrow. It doesn't give me that option. The earliest will be 2 days away. So I think number one is I think they're having a hard time with drivers. There's a lot of shit going on with drivers that, of course, they don't want people to know, but I see it all the time on Ring and, all those where, drivers they're not the most legit drivers that you could, they're not very honest drivers. They're doing things like backing into homes and all kinds of weird shit. Leaving packages because they couldn't get them all delivered, so they just dropped them off and, left them beside a garbage can. And one left them in I don't know what the hell it was, some type of a bucket at somebody's house. Just left them in the bucket because he didn't want to finish delivering them. He wanted to go home. He was tired. He was done.
It could just be, too. Well, I mean, I live in Texas, so I don't know the economy there. It could be people are just buying less stuff, too. And they're trying to consolidate instead of sending drivers out with few packages to save money for fuel and just sending people out to deliver 5 packages, whereas they want to wait till that car or truck or whatever fills up to have a full truck. Could be that too.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, it just seems a little weird.
Luckily, I live in a big city. Half the stuff I order delivers. Oh no, I'm not. When I say this, I'm not trying to brag. Like most cities, but I'm talking pretty big. Like sometimes if I deliver stuff or if I order stuff before 11, I'll get it same day.
Yeah, I mean that's how we always were. Let me just put it this way. I can damn near throw something and hit the Amazon warehouse.
Oh yeah, if you live next to one, yeah.
I mean, it's right here. It's right here. I would say it's probably, I don't know. It's a couple miles from me, but not very far at all. I could definitely walk there and back, no problem. But I just think it's kind of weird that everything, it used to be like 90% of the stuff I ordered, I could pretty much, there'd be 1 or 2 options of being able to get it the next day. And now there's just, it's usually 2 days away. Here's what I think. I think they're trying to, now that they got everybody addicted to it, now they're trying to train us. Like, no, you're not going to get it for a couple days. You'll be all right. Oh, no, that one's going to be a week. Oh, Hokai said she waits 6 weeks for deliveries.
Oh, geez.
Problem is a lot of stuff we can't get here. You have to order it online. I mean, Fred Meyer's, there's so much shit they don't have. I have to go order it. Or like specialty things. I went to Michael's the other day for stuff for Lucas's birthday, and they didn't have half the shit I needed. I could not believe it. I'm like, really? This is where everybody goes to get cake shit, and there's no cake shit here. What? Come on.
Is that the only place that has cake shit? Is fucking Fred Meyer's?
No. It was Michael's.
Oh.
Like decorating stuff. Like, I mean, we needed like specific stuff for a little construction working looking cake. So we kind of, it would have been nice if I'd have had a craft warehouse, but of course we had to shut all those down. And, they did open up in a Hobby Lobby, though, and I found it today. Marvin's going to hate me.
Yep. That's going to be the TJ Maxx for Marvin.
Oh, gosh, it's bad. I should not go there. It wouldn't be... Here's the deal. If I still did crafts a lot, it'd be fine, but I don't, but I'll still see things. I'll be like, oh, my God, I have to have that. That's the cutest little fairy thing. But I'm not doing, I'm not building all that shit anymore, so no sense of doing it. No sense of getting it.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby. I think Hobby Lobby. I think they're religious. Like they have like a big thing about not working on Sundays. They close their doors on Sundays.
Yeah, I think they're I'm gonna imagine the owners are like Christian or something.
Yeah.
Kind of like Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
And boy, do I hate Chick-fil-A. Fuck those people. Fuck all these people who line up like it's they're getting some like the best crap in the world. Their waffle fries suck ass. Their sandwiches get smaller and smaller. It's about the size of a computer mouse, and they cost $13.99. But there's people outside on the freeway waiting, and they've got cones dropping off. They've got 2 lanes and 13 employees out in the driveway taking orders. And I'm like, what is this obsession with this shitty restaurant?
I don't get it either. And they always plant them right by a freeway, too.
Yeah.
Like right next to a freeway. So they always got to go all the way out and around. Oh, Ansley, it's okay. You're not pregnant, though, right, honey? You're good? You're just late? Oh, Kai said she tried Taco Bell once. Yeah, I always just regret eating fast food. Once I do it, it's like, oh, why did I do that for? I'll tell you when the last time I didn't regret it. I had a salad from Wendy's that had
a fast food salad.
Strawberries.
Oh, shit.
And something. And I was surprised because Marv goes, "Are you really going to do that?" But it was a really nice Wendy's. Like it was inside a casino, or I think it was a casino. Isn't that? It was inside of something. I think it was a casino. And it was really good. I was impressed. But that has been a long time ago.
Well, what I try to do if I do go to a fast food restaurant, the main thing is just cutting out the fries. Just don't eat the fucking fries. Those are the worst. If you just get a burger, it's not, I mean, of course, the meat, who knows? Some places make fresh beef, but some of them come in frozen and they just heat them up or microwave them, whatever, like McDonald's. But the fries, that if you look at the calorie count, they put it on there now. The burger by itself is like 600 calories. But if you get the meal and you add the fries, it's 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
And it's deep fried in vegetable oil or whatever. It's horrible for you. Like
Yes.
What's a hamburger? It's fucking bread, meat, lettuce, tomato, pickles. It's not that bad for you.
From most places, it's that. But
it's the fries, man. If you go like order a number 2 at any burger fast food restaurant, it's almost like 2,000 calories. That's like your whole day of calorie intake. Now, if that's the only thing you eat, you'll be okay. But if you plan on eating dinner later, you better eat like, a bowl of air because
exactly. Right. Or take off half of the hamburger and save it for later because that's what you're going to have to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just get the burger and a water. Just cut out the Coke and the fries, and it's not that bad for you.
Yep. Yeah, I actually don't usually get the meal, or if but we hardly ever do it because inevitably, like I said, it ends up hurting. My stomach ends up hurting, and I just regret it. Sometimes Marvin he likes Popeye's chicken.
Yeah, I do like Popeyes too.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, man, those fucking potatoes and gravy.
Same here. That's the only side I get there. I like the beans and rice, but I'm telling you, man, that spicy whatever they put, that spicy gravy or whatever the hell.
Spicy gravy. I've never thought I'd like spicy gravy. That shit is good.
Yeah. And you have to dip that dry ass hockey puck biscuit in there.
It's the only way you can eat it.
Yeah, unless you want to fucking choke to death.
Right. I know them. Oh man, I love them. So yeah, I'll tell Marvin, okay, you could get me a side of the mashed potatoes and gravy. I'll eat that.
Yeah. I'm with you there.
Yeah, that's good shit. And he likes a spicy chicken. If I ever get chicken there, I just get the regular. But he likes a spicy chicken. And he likes the coleslaw. I've never tried the beans and rice there.
It's good.
I'll
It's not as
try
good
it.
as the mashed potatoes, but it'd probably be my second. Macaroni and cheese, coleslaw,
Yuck. Yeah.
I only like, homemade coleslaw. I'm not real big into that runny
Yeah.
fucking fast food. You know, where it's all wet at the bottom and it's like all the liquid.
Yeah. It's like, I think that was too much lemon juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marv loves, he's kind of a coleslaw snob, but he'll always get it no matter who has it, just because he loves coleslaw. But it's like KFC, honey. It's just, to me, it's better. KFC used to be good, but a long time ago they changed their recipe or something. It tastes like shit. But Popeyes, they've got like a spicy recipe or a regular recipe, and I don't mind. I mean, it's not bad. How'd we get on food? I don't know, Ma. You name it. It never fails.
I was shitting on Chick-fil-A for their stupid lines and why people
That's right.
have to back up traffic to eat those shitty waffle fries.
Uh-huh.
As
We
you can tell,
gotta-
I dealt with that today. I sat at the
gotta-
same red light like 5 times because of these
Oh, I
fools
hate that.
backing up into the feeder road trying to get to this fucking Chick-fil-A.
We have a new,
I wanted to mow down everybody.
we have a new restaurant here. It just opened up. Let me see what the name of it is. And I have never been to it, but Marvin said the line was down the street, across the road. He was like, Jesus, it went forever. I was like, dang, must have been good. Let me see here. Why does it need... No, I ain't giving you my location.
Anything on the you have a cell phone, they know your location.
Yeah,
They just make you
yeah.
feel better with that little button that says share location.
Right?
They know
Yeah.
where you are.
I'm on the computer, but no, not Isan's Thai, but I can't remember what it is. I don't even know what kind of food it is, but Marvin said the line was for, that's what it's called. Jollibee. It's Filipino food.
Jollibee. Is that it?
Yep.
We don't
That's
have
what
too
it
many of those here, but they serve everything. They like anything from spaghetti to fried chicken to.
Yeah. Let's see. Last time I went by, it didn't look like it was too busy, but there for the first few days, it was busy as hell, but it always is when they're brand new. Weird, though. I see that they stuck some kind of they stuck that, what did I just call that, Asian Isan Thai? They stuck that one in the old Cracker Barrel. I was like, dang, really? That's gross.
Was that y'all's only Cracker Barrel?
Yes.
Ugh, Portland sucks.
I was really pissed.
I was anybody live there.
They have one called the Big Dog Basket, Ma.
Big Dog Basket, Ma?
Big Dog Basket. I've never seen that before. Might have to check that out. Yeah, I don't know. I just hate going out to eat. I always, once I get there, it's like the kids say, "Oh no, Mom, you ain't gonna want to go there. There was gum in the parking lot last time I was there." I'm like, fuck off. They say I'm too picky.
Well, that'd be easy to use. You'll be like, I'm going to go eat here. And if nobody else wants to eat there, they'll just be like, yeah, they found a rat in there last week.
Yep.
And we're like, all right,
Yep.
never mind.
Exactly. It's about all it'd take, too.
It's got a C rating on health code violations.
That's right. I seen a guy picking his nose in the restaurant there yesterday, Mom. Oh, okay, let's go. Yeah, I'm kind of bad. Like, I don't. It's not beyond me to go to the bathroom just to go see where the kitchen is, see who's cooking. Who's in there? Let me see what you look like.
Ain't nobody cooking in most of these restaurants. Most of these restaurants are just heating it up.
Right. I know, but I still want to see who's sweating over my food.
I mean, when you go out to eat, you got to expect a little salmonella to get in you.
Oh.
Just a little bit. Not enough to make you sick. Just a little bit.
I know. I don't know. It wouldn't be so bad, but I've seen some really. I probably should have never watched some of the videos I've watched because it's probably made me a little more paranoid than I should be. But there's some sick puppies out there. And I just don't want to be like, one of their victims.
So what else do you know besides nicotine's not addictive and
Nicotine's not addictive.
you hate our freedoms and
Pyrazine
you like
addictive.
Popeye's mashed potatoes.
If you're not flying, you don't need real ID.
See, we always learn something here.
That's right. And that was about all I learned. I mean, we did 2 hours and 41 minutes of what I learned today.
I know. It's educational.
Educational. Now you know what's in Gigi's brain. Well, there's more than that, but everybody said I can't tell you guys that because it's too personal. So, LW and TF and Baker said KJ said I had to shut my mouth and not tell everybody everything.
Yeah, some of the stuff, yes, that's true. If you like your channel anyway. If not, let it rip.
Burn it to the ground. Trust me, I really wanted to show that video that they have on Rumble.
About?
That's the one about the nicotine. I'm going to post that again. Because I think it's interesting, and it's a lot of information. I can't tell you all the shit here, but that's why you just got to go watch it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of researchers that think the cause of the big C word is because of parasites.
No, you got it wrong. So
No,
they
I
believe...
I like how you tell me something that I've seen.
No, listen, you misunderstood it.
That I miss. Okay, tell me. Go ahead, Gigi.
Okay.
Let me know.
I'm gonna tell you.
You
just
go
listen.
ahead, girl.
May I disagree with you? Okay.
That's not disagreeing. You're telling me that
Okay.
I'm like what
well,
I
changed it. I changed it. I'm learning from
what
you.
I heard these people say. They didn't say, but they did say it.
Okay, but here's the deal. What I believe they were trying to mean, what I believe is the deal with the whole cancer versus parasites is a lot of times cancer is misdiagnosed or parasites are misdiagnosed as cancer. So it's not that they're, do you see what I'm saying? It's not that I think there's not probably cancer in this world, obviously. I think that they're just a lot of cancer or parasites are misdiagnosed as cancer. So that's what I think.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to say, but luckily enough, you interrupted me before I could finish to disagree
You know
with me.
me. You can always
So,
count on
actually,
me.
you're so quick to tell me that I was wrong. We ended up kind of being agreeing. So,
Well, I'm glad
funny
you
thing
could
that, right?
agree with me.
I'm glad I said what you were what you agree with, but you cut me off at the beginning to tell me how wrong I was, to tell me something I was about to say. But hey, we ended up in the same end of the pool, so we're good.
I'm just glad you agreed with me.
Agree. I agree the long way around. But yeah, and that would be like certain medications that we all know about that work on some people. I won't say that it cures everything, but it cures enough people for it to be, then, it needs to be looked into more.
I think there's a lot that you know what I hate? I hate that we have been so gullible. It's not that I think I'm right on any of what I say. I just hate that we are so quick to go, well, they said it's got to be right. The government, they'd never lie to us. Oh, well, the medical world, they'd never lie to us. Well, the government would surely never lie to us. And we've just done it so much that, I catch myself doing it all the time, and I catch Marvin doing it even more because, he doesn't go down the rabbit holes. I mean, he will if I shove it, like I have to shove it in his face. Like I have to send it to him, then I got to go, did you see that email? Yes, honey, I seen the email. Or if he says no, I'll go, well, make sure you watch it. You're going to want to watch that one. Because then at least when I talk about something, I don't feel like he's lost. He at least has an idea of what I'm talking about. And sometimes it does make him see the light of day. But more than not, he'll still believe the old ways.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think people are gullible. I think they've just studied on. I mean, this goes decades and decades back of MK Ultra, like all these type of things. They studied how the human brain works. They've known all this for decades. That's the reason these marketing campaigns and repetitive messaging, and you just see it in the background. You hear it on the TV. Everywhere you go has a TV, right? You go to the airport, it has CNN in the background on the TVs. You go everywhere, it's TV. There's radio, like the internet. It's just, you see these ads. It's marketing. It's subliminal. It's just all to fill your brain. You don't even know it, Yep. They did one of those famous studies way back in the day where they took 10 people in a room and they gave them all the same math problem. Only one person wasn't in on the deal, that the other 9 people were going to give the wrong answer on purpose, and this one person was going to gave the correct answer. So when the person running the thing said, okay, the answer is this. And it was a pretty simple math question. And the one person who got it right was wrong. The other 9 people got it wrong. He said they were right. And that person, after a while, changed their answer to what the other 9 people said.
Yep.
They don't even, it's like a subconscious thing. They know how to trick people's, they know how to fool people. It's not that hard, when it's like a mass campaign,
Well, and I think that there's a lot of things that I have gone through and researched, or I don't even know if you can call it research, but looked at, and afterwards my opinion will change, and then I'll kind of second guess myself, like, you're kind of crazy for thinking that. Like, how'd you come up with that? Then I got to go back through it, figure out, because I've been trained to think one way. So to think another way, your brain tells you you're crazy. And so it's taken a little bit for me to kind of open up and just be willing to listen open-mindedly and not gullible, but just willing to listen, or, take it all in before I make that decision on something. Because, I'm sure we're all going to be wrong on a lot of these conspiracy theories, but we can't be wrong on all of them, because I'm telling you what, way too many of them have already came true. We've already seen it happen repeatedly.
Yeah, so, you just have to use your life experience. Everybody has different life experience too. If somebody grew up, they never, had issues with money. Their parents had a lot of money when they were growing up. Everything was hunky-dory. Their parents had a great relationship. Everything went great in school. You know, they got the nicest car ever when they were 16. They went to a great college, got an education, got a great job, and continued with the great life. Found the perfect wife or partner forever. Had great one. Like, it's just hard for them to look at anything. They have no experience of being fucked over. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas somebody in a different situation might be able to smell out the bullshit a little bit quicker because they're more street smart. They've had to be on the streets and be poor at some point and had a fucked up child. So they can smell the bullshit easier than others too. So not sometimes it's not that people are, and this is just sometimes, but in both instances, but sometimes people are just, it's life experience too on how good you can sniff the bullshit out.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I suppose I should probably get going. It's 10 my time. And I gotta go get the hoodlum in the morning and take my granddaughter school shopping. It should be fun.
You have to take off in the morning because my son has to go to the DMV. So I have to take, it's only this one appointment. I have to take him out of school early, but I won't be able to get back in time to get my daughter. So I have to take my daughter out of school early too. So,
oh Lord,
that's the
I
whole
bet
day.
she hates that. Yay! I get to go play hooky.
Now she loves school. Like, she's probably going to be upset.
Well, you know.
I don't know why, but she loves it.
Yeah, friends, you know.
But yeah,
Learning.
thanks for having me up.
Thanks for coming out.
All right.
All right. Well, you got anything going on this week?
Nope.
Are you hanging low?
Busy. I'll probably be busy up until the time we go live on Friday night.
All right.
I'll probably just be sliding in the chair, turn on the computer.
I've done no research, so I need to get on that.
Just watch Titanic 7 times. You'll be fine.
Yeah, right. It's okay. I'm going to advertise it anyways, so
Okay.
I mean I should. That way everybody comes there Friday night for a lot of talk about the Titanic. Just be ready. It'll be fun. Just know that there's going to be conspiracy theory stuff involved. So, yeah, it'll be fun. We're going to get moving on it.
That's right. Leonardo and the boat and the raft.
That's right. We're going to be flying.
That lady wouldn't let him on. Can you believe that? Terrible.
How dare her. All righty. Well, thank you very much. And y'all just hang tight, and I will see you on Friday night. Maybe Friday morning. I don't know. But more than likely, it'll be just Friday night. It just depends on what's going on come Friday morning. But thank y'all for being here. You know the deal. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Bye.
News bulletin.
Step right up, got tickets on sale. In today's episode, trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. Yeah, it's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Well, the world's strongest man just dropped the ball, and the tent's caving in from the weight of it all. Yeah, the lion's at the cage, puppets in a rage, and the ringleader's on parade. Get your popcorn